This is Ada Cougar Football, presented by the Chickasaw Nation.
Ready.
Brought to you in part by Ada Nissan, Classic Cake, Carter County Dodge and Hyundai, CTS, Fenton Ford, First United Bank, Great Plains Kubota, Hilltop Dodge, Landrum ENT, Laser Zone, Simmons Bank, State Farm Agent Don Carpenter, T&W Tire, Vision Bank, and Wild Rose Place. Now, let's go live to the action with the voice of Ada Cougar Football, Kenny Morrison.
And a very pleasant good evening, everyone, and welcome to Cougars Stadium. Norris Field down below. Kenny Morrison alongside Trey Kinley. Mason Lee on the camera. It's time to be home. The Ada Cougars open the home portion of the 2023 season tonight in about a half hour against the Ardmore Tigers. Boy, it's good to be home the entire month of September right here at Cougars Stadium. The Cougars, Trey Kinley, coming off a big win a week ago, 14-7 at Durant, a game that has been talked about across the county and across the state for a while because of the night the lights went out, but the defense stood tall last Friday night.
Yeah, the defense was definitely re-energized by the lack of power. Talked about it a little bit in our meeting Thursday night when I went down on the field. The Durant coaches and players were kind of sitting around. Our players were sitting around just trying to stay cool, but the coaches were working, and it showed when they came back out of the power delay. And 14-7, that's not pretty, but they're very seldom is there a pretty game against Durant. You move it to week 0, and it's going to be even uglier.
Well, you win, and you don't look great doing it. What a great opportunity to practice and get better. We talked about that, the coaches, I think the luncheon on Thursday. I think you brought that up. It's
got to be one of the most lopsided records versus scores in the history of Ada. It's a lot like Bedlam.
Yeah.
OU owns that series, but most of the games are close, and it's not necessarily a rivalry game for one of the schools, but the other one it is. So very similar.
Tonight, Trey Kinley, a lot different. The Ardmore Tigers from Class 5A, 50-47-2. Ada all time against Ardmore, and this is meeting number 100. What a big night! Governor Anatubby will be here to the coin toss tonight. There's a lot of activities planned as the 100th meeting in the Battle of the Cats.
Yeah, and what's crazy is, and we didn't even talk about this last year that I remember, the first game was in 1922.
Yeah.
So last year was 100 years. There was a break, I think, between 22 and 28, I think. But there were several years where they did play. Yeah, took 22 to 28. There was a break. They didn't play in 34. But there were several years where we played Ardmore twice. And so that's why the 102nd year is the 100th game.
Wow.
So there was 6 years missed, but a couple years added.
Trey Kinley picking up where Mick Cowan had left off and does a great job.
Yeah, we'll have a little bit more on that
together.
later.
Hey, Cougar, go ahead.
Just a little preview there.
Cougar football tonight, a beautiful night, 7:30 kickoff. We're going to take a break, but on the other side of this break, I had a chance to sit down with Cougar third-year head coach Brad Osteen on Thursday morning. He's going to talk about tonight's game. Coach's Corner is next, live from Cougars Stadium. This is Cougar football, a presentation of the Chickasaw Nation. Welcome back to Ada Cougar football. This is Kenny Morrison along with head coach Brad Osteen. Coach, my pleasure.
Thank you.
Welcome. Cougar football on a Friday night under the lights at Cougars Stadium. Couldn't think of a better place to be. Week 1 with week 0 under the belt, an Ada Cougar win a week ago on the road in Durant. We'll talk about that. What a night. I think there's an old song, if you remember back in the day. Craig and I were talking about, what a night it was in Durant. 14-7, though. The Cougars got it done. When statistically it didn't look like, if you look at the statistics, yeah, we're 0-1. No, Cougars found a way despite an off night when the night that the lights went out in Durant literally for some time. Coach, 1-0 on the season. First of all, congratulations.
Well, thank you.
That's where you want to be going into the Ardmore game.
100%. It was a tough night. It was a lot of adversity with the heat, and then having the hour and a half delay, and then coming back, and we knew Durant was a much improved ball club, and so anyway, proud of our kids. We had a big goal line stand. We can talk about it a little bit later. Yeah. That was big for us. And then defensively, only giving up 7. gave up some yardage and some big plays here and there in some key situations as far as that type of stuff. But defensively, overall, played pretty well.
Yeah, Durant knew what they wanted to do. They wanted to run the football, but their passing game has improved. They got a couple skill guys out there that can really catch. They're multiple at quarterback, so they brought a lot of different looks that you haven't seen
100%.
In the past couple of years, and so. They presented a challenge, which will only make the Cougars better heading into this game against Ardmore. Let's go back to that goal line stand. The lights went out for an hour and 40-plus minutes, almost a 2-hour delay after the teams warmed back up. Scoreless game. Durant's moving the football, 1st and goal inside the 2. Ball rests between the 1 and 2 yard line. Adjustments made, and then players executed out of that.
Yeah, they come out and executed. They had showed some, like you said, they showed a lot of things and that we hadn't seen, and we were able to take a break for a second, and the delay was actually good for us because we was able to get a different package and get different personnel in to kind of match up with those guys. Brought in a defensive lineman, took out a secondary guy, and we were able to get that goal line stand and control the front with those. It's hard to control with just 3 of those guys, and so. Great job by Coach Shanley making the adjustments, and then our kids just went out and executed.
Maybe it was Case on 4th down. Was it Case over there on the edge?
I believe it was.
Yeah, it looked like Robbins, I believe, was heading toward the corner, and he got him just inside. I mean, the ball was just inside the pylon as he forced him out of bounds.
Barely.
What an effort!
It was a great effort by all of that, because that was just a big time goal line stand for us there.
And, Coach, finally, as we look back at that game, before we talk about Ardmore, the defense was the key, as the
100%.
offense continues to be a work in progress to get better and better. Forced 5 turnovers, 4 of them interceptions. Chase Bailey's 58-yard return early in the game set up a short field for the first touchdown. Then Deontay's one of his 2 picks came in the 4th quarter that set up another short field and the game winner.
100%. And those guys, we created those 5 turnovers on defense, and then we was able to capitalize them on offense, shortening the field and things like that. So, hands down, defense won that ball game for us. We just got to get more consistent, and we got to take care of the football. Yeah. We coughed up the football a few times, and we got to make better choices with the football. So, but there's a lot of things to learn from that. If you go and beat somebody by 40 or 50 points, you don't always learn those lessons, and so. I think it was a wake-up call for some of our guys, but I'm really proud of their effort, and we played hard for 4 quarters.
Cougars playing 4 quality 5A schools, as always, in their pre-district matchup games, and, of course, they're in the 4A District 4, so competition is always good and always competitive. Cougars win against Durant 14-7 last week. Now we transition to a game that's usually your season opener. In fact, since 1960, the last time there was a season opener besides Norman, where I grew up, and used to watch Ada come to Owen Stadium and play as a kid. By the way, a little history there.
Wow.
As I grew up and come watch the Cougars play the Norman Tigers,
yeah.
or the Ardmore Tigers. It was 1961, I believe,
wow.
And we opened with Durant. But we still got Ardmore, and it's this week. And what a special night tonight at Coy Easter, the 100th all-time meeting, a series that dates way back, 49, 48, and 2. Says my statistician and color guy Trey Kinley, all-time record Cougars 1-up against Ardmore.
What a matchup! What a story! What a history! Just a very exciting game for Oklahoma football, just in general. It's already a big rivalry. Then you add in the 100th meeting, and then the balance there of the win losses and everything. I just think it sets up for a great night for people to come out and watch a great game.
Yeah, a lot going on tonight, too, to celebrate this event. Governor Anna Tubby on hand for the coin toss and much more. So, just sit back and enjoy this one. It's going to be a nice night for football, a little cooler than last week as well. Coach Ardmore, let's talk about your opponent. Let's assess them. Maybe you kind of give me some information about the Ardmore Tigers. What I know is they got beat pretty handily last week, but they've made a commitment to a youth movement under head coach Josh Newby.
Yeah, they've changed their offense back to what they used to run, because the last couple of years they've been running a two-back system for the quarterback they had that went to Illinois, but they went back to the system that they had ran previously. And, I think they're kind of going through some of the same stuff that we're going through offensively, of just kind of transitioned into a different type ball club, but they're still big. They're still big and physical up front, and they're still athletic. in the back end on both sides of the football. So they're a scary football team. They ran into a really good running back at Lawton Ike, and he played well against these guys. But they'll be ready to play us, so we got to be ready to go.
Yeah, Josh Newby, of course, played his college football at East Central University, and then really good man, head coach there at Ardmore. Cougars taking on Ardmore. They've won the last two in this series. I think it was a 7-0 shutout 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. Here at Ada, it was
I think it was 20.
Was it 21-0?
21-0, I believe, or 27-0. We didn't score right on them. I think it's 27-0 was what the score was.
Was that 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
Then last year beat them at
Ardmore.
At Ardmore by a count of 35-18.
Yep,
Big game to open the season for the Cougars. So talk about the keys to. Let's get back to the ground game. We know we have to establish that. Did not establish it against Durant. Looking at Ardmore's personnel and some nuances you've worked on this week. What's the key to getting that rolling here tonight?
Well, it all starts up front with our big guys, and we got to have a better night. They've had a really good week this week. I thought we've gotten better with those guys. We can't cough the ball up, I think we snapped the ball 2 times in the first quarter, and so we can't run 2 plays and then cough it up. So we got to take care of the football. But it all starts with our front guys, and so just really got to focus on maintaining, sustaining our blocks, concentrate on our first steps, get our pad level down, and get off the ball and be confident in what we're doing. And like we've told them all week is you know what to do, be confident in it, and then go execute it. And a lot of times we were just, I think it was unsureness, and we weren't coming off the football like we needed to. And then sometimes it's our first step, and just shoring up those things where those kids have confidence in their ability and having confidence in the scheme, and then going applying it and getting after it. If you make a mistake going full speed, not half speed. Because if you go and do the right thing half speed, you're still going to lose that battle. Yeah. So just shoring up that confidence amongst the front guys, and then just take care of the football.
Yeah, Cougars had 4 turnovers, but +1 though last week in that category. Third-year head coach Brad Osteen with us on Coach's Corner as we head toward the end of our session here before kickoff tonight from Coe-Isto Stadium. Coach, sophomore quarterback Brock Boyles struggled a bit on Friday. He's young, and he got some new things, some new reads he's having to come up with. But I want to talk about he had a touchdown pass to Cord Coffey, got a great, looks like possession receiver. I know he can do more than that, but that's the first thing that came in my mind in Deontay out there, finding that spot, sure-handed. That's got to give a quarterback some confidence, knowing so at least, he got more, but those two really stood out as guys that you get in their area, they're going to catch the football for you.
Yeah, and that's something that, we knew Deontay, he's since his freshman year, that kid has went to work, and just really proud of his work ethic and his desire to get in there, and you don't have to worry about him because he's going to give you everything he's got, and we missed on him deep one time, or we overthrew him a little bit, and that would have been a touch, and just missed out and didn't execute in some certain situations. But Brock's really, we've dialed him back down, and he's had a good week of work. Try to simplify things. I think he's maybe trying to do too much, and because he's a competitor and he loves to compete, and he's had a good week of work. Just really excited to get back out there on Friday night and see the progress of the week, because it's just something that you chip at every week, and you try to take a step forward. Don't take 2 steps forward and 1 step back. Let's just keep moving forward with our learning, and then just the technique of our blocks and the technique of what we're doing, and just really excited to see those guys go execute tonight.
Kids are willing to learn, and I know with my time spent watching sports and broadcasting, sometimes between week 1 and week 2, sometimes you see the biggest improvement of an athletic team because 100%. They've played somebody else, they know their mistakes, and they're eager to get better. Finally, Coach, as we wrap this up, let's talk about the defensive side against Ardmore specifically. They've gone back to more of that option attack, always key to making your reads and being disciplined in your lanes, 100%. Correct?
Yeah, that's when we see option teams, and that's if you're a disciplined football team and you read your keys and you react correctly, and you make sure you take care of your responsibility, and when they're running option or triple option or whatever type of option is, whether it's a double option or a triple option, you take care of the dive, you take care of the quarterback, you take care of pitch, then what else are they going to do? And just being disciplined, understanding what you have to do, and everybody going and doing their job. So The past 2 years, I felt like we've defended the option really well. Our kids being disciplined and understanding what their job is and what they have to do. So I expect a great night out of our defense.
Should be outstanding. In addition to the 5 turnovers forced as we move on here, George Maddox, Fisher Moore, 15 tackles each last week. Brennan Riddle didn't get to play last year, made his presence known on Friday night against Durant. He had 8 tackles and was all over the field defensively as well. So the Cougars defense was strong, will need to be so again tonight. Coisto Stadium, down below, the Ardmore Tigers' 100th all-time meeting. Coach, it's been a pleasure, as always, to visit with you here pregame. Looking forward to week 1, which is game number 2, and this crazy thing we call high school football in the state of Oklahoma. Back with more pregame, including your starting lineup. This is Ada Cougar Football, streaming at KADARadio.net. Welcome back to Coisto Stadium. Kenny Morrison alongside Trey Kinley. Mason Lee on camera. Nathan Crowder. I want to mention Crowell. I thought you said Crowder. Nathan.
He's on your right.
I can't hear. Nathan Crowell. Nathan, good to have you in the booth. Nathan Crowell is running the computer. He's our engineer tonight. We appreciate Nathan. And first broadcast, going to do a great job. Already beat the guy who was on there last year. That'd be you, Trey. But he's doing fantastic. Trained by Trey. Ada Ardmore. Heard the coach's interview. Now it's just about kickoff time, Trey. The 100th meeting. And this game has a lot of history. Ardmore was handled last week 56-7 by Lott Knight. They're young, very youthful, freshman quarterback. Of course, Ada coming off a 14-7 win, as we talked about, against Durant. It's an Ardmore team that back to the basics of what Coach Newby's done, back to the flexbone offense that the Cougars will have to defend tonight.
Yeah, about 86% of the time. Freshman quarterback, athletic, obviously. They're going to go to the right the majority of the time. From what I understand, has a little bit of trouble pitching to the left. So going left, he's probably going to keep it most of the time. They'll throw it a little bit, just enough to keep you honest, but probably more. Hey, let's cover this, Kenny.
You bet.
This is the governor of Chickasaw Nation, Governor Bill Anatubby.
Governor Anatubby there just in about midfield.
Obviously, both these teams are within the Chickasaw Nation, and they're active in both of these communities.
Our thanks to the Chickasaw Nation. This broadcast presented by the Chickasaw Nation all season long, Cougar football. Governor Anatubby and
There's the score prediction for tonight, folks. 70-5, Ada.
Yeah, there you go.
No, Governor Anatubby had son play here. Brian Anatubby graduated in 95. Had a grandson, Brendan Anatubby, that graduated 5 or 6 years ago, I'm guessing. Obviously a great ambassador for the Chickasaw Nation, great governor, and has done a ton for both these communities. And I'm not just saying that because I work for the Chickasaw Nation. That's not a ploy. Go through any one of these communities in the Chickasaw Nation, and you see the effects that they have had, not only for their Chickasaw people, but for the communities in general.
Let's go ahead and get the captains for your homemade Cougars in their home maroon uniforms tonight with the white numerals. You got senior linebacker Fisher Moore and running back, and then George Maddox, senior, Brennan Riddle, senior, and Cord Coffey, senior. All those guys were outstanding last week. We'll run some stats down for you as we go through the broadcast. For the Ardmore Tigers, number 4, Jacorian Halstead, one of the captains. Number 75, Chase Stewart. Number 77 is Derek Mealy. And number 7 is Jackson Hurt, the Ardmore Tiger captains.
Kenny, is such an even rivalry. While they're kind of talking about this, I have, entered all the stats, and I'm missing the stats from 22 to 39 individual stats, and then 2014, I can't find it. I probably need to get in the paper. But not only is the record very close, Ada has scored 1,500 points, Ardmore around 1,600. 19,000 yards for Ada, 21,000 yards for Ardmore. So it's just close all the way. And if you look through any of the stats, it's that way. And it's a very respected rivalry. Again, started 101 years ago in 1922. Was that your second broadcast, Kenny? Or
1922, yeah. I think that's about year number 3. Ada has won the toss and deferred.
We're going to kick.
They'll kick.
South to north.
Ardmore will receive, and see they're going to move south to north.
Yep.
Okay.
No, Ardmore's going to move north to south.
Ardmore north to south to start the football game. So that's about my third season of Ada football back in 22 of broadcasting. But boy, it should be a fun game tonight. We're going to take our final pregame break, Trey, and come back on the other side. Get ready to kick this off as Ada will kick, Ardmore will receive. Cougar football tonight, a presentation of the Chickasaw Nation. Welcome back to Coy Easto Stadium. It's about kick time. The Cougars will kick. Caden Mitchell will kick it off. He'll be placing on the 40-yard line, left hash mark in just a moment. Game time weather conditions, a little more pleasant tonight than last week. 88 degrees. Sun setting at 7:53 at east wind from across the field at our face at 5 miles per hour. 100th all-time meeting, Ada and Ardmore. Should be a dandy tonight. Ball to the left hash. Mitchell puts it on the tee. You've got Halstead and Antonio Taylor deep on a youthful Ardmore team. Taylor a sophomore. Halstead is a senior.
Stafford, Bailey, Richardson, Eli, Carlock, Karan.
Ball is in the air. A high pooch. Fair catch. 34-yard line. That's where Ardmore will set up shop, 1st and 10. On the fair catch is Loftus over there, another sophomore. So the Ardmore Tigers set up 1st and 10. They're going to officially mark it up at the 34-yard line. Let's set the Ada defense tonight. 3-4 defense. Will Johnson, J.B. Coyle, Cord Coffey up front for the Cougars.
Actually, Isaiah Hayden starting at the left side.
Got Isaiah over there. So you got Hayden.
Corners are Deontay, Lindsey, and Karan Richardson. Safeties are Chase Bailey and Colton Carlock. In the middle, you got Eminem, Marr, and Maddox, along with Brennan Riddle at the jack and Xander Rhines at the star.
5'10", 165 freshman signal caller is Miller. Under center, single setback, flex bone. Man in motion coming left. And Ardmore on their first play has a false start.
Nope,
there's an offsides, Ada.
It's on us, yep.
It is going to be. I'm going to say Ardmore had 14 penalties last week, 12 of them false starts. I thought they started that way, but it is an offside against Ada. We'll move it to the 39-yard line.
JB gets his customary. Little amped up, little itching to go.
Ashton Rowell in there at the right side. Did you mention Ashton a while ago?
No,
sophomore?
Ashton just came in the center for JB.
So there he is. We got under center again is Miller. Man in motion is Taylor. And Miller trying to keep it. I mean, the Cougars have him eaten up at the 40-yard line. And he went nowhere. Riddle, who had 8 tackles a week ago, as Trey said, one of the Cougars that led the charge on 1st and 5. It'll be 2nd down and 4.
Was that number 8, Singleton, that carried it? Or I couldn't tell.
We'll look at the replay. It was 8 or 2. We'll give it to Singleton right now. 2nd down and 4. Under center is the quarterback, Miller. Man, Taylor faked the motion, now resets. Now under center, Miller comes back and looks to the sideline for the change the play. 5 on the clock. Man in motion left to right. They hand it off to Singleton. Got some room, slashing outside and is drugged down short of the 1st down. Had a little sliver of room. Is that Xander over there? Xander Rhines.
Looks like it.
So Singleton just short of the 1st down at the 43, Trey. Going to be 3rd and 1. You'll see a heavy dose of this by the Ardmore Tigers, a Tiger team that was manhandled 56-7 a week ago at Cameron Stadium in Lawton against Lawton Eisenhower. 3rd down, about a half yard. They hand it off to Singleton. He's hit at the line of scrimmage, but he's got the lunge for the 1st down.
Like Fisher got him initially.
Crosses the 45. See Maddox getting up as well. So 3 straight plays to Singleton, who lunges to the 46-yard line, and an Ardmore Tiger 1st down. You know, a week ago, the Cougar defense.
If they're going to run it inside, pound, we could go to a heavy set where we pull out a corner and add an extra defensive lineman. That's what we did when we came out of that break last week.
Again, they have a tight formation, man in motion left to right. They pitch it on a sweep, and there's a great play out there on the edge by Will Johnson. Yeah, they pitched it to the edge to the man in motion. That was Tyson Laster, another freshman at 5'10", 170. And Will Johnson from his defensive end position played
did a great job playing assignment football there.
That was textbook as he just got out there, made did not let the running back get to the edge, wrapped him up. 2nd and 12. Will Johnson, a week ago for the Cougars, had 3 tackles in that 8-14-7 win. 2nd down and a dozen. You want to get this Ardmore team behind the sticks because, again, 86% of their plays on the ground. Singleton up the middle. Oh! George stood him up.
Eminem.
Got him at the 45, and a vicious hit by George Maddox as he filled the gap beautifully as Singleton just crossed the 45. He got a yard, but George Maddox ate him up.
I think Fisher hit him at the same time, a little bit lower.
Both Maddox and Marr, 15 tackles apiece a week ago. They did a great job. J.B. Coyle had 0 tackles, but that does not indicative. The reason I bring that up, he did so many good things well to free up those linebackers who made play after play. 3rd down, about 10.5. Miller, the option, coming right, chase down in the backfield, going to go nowhere. Xander got him. George finished him. Ball loose. They say he's down. Oh, Xander got him high or low. George finished him high back at the 40, a 5-yard loss. Punt time for the Ardmore Tigers.
How do you pronounce his name, Kenny?
Kadrian Miller. And, one of the goals this week was make sure the freshman quarterback knows the defense is out here, if you can read between the lines. Find him and hit him. They'll punt it. High punt by Cohee. 29-yard line. Richardson coming left, trying to find the edge. 35-36, got 7 on the return. That's LeKeven, a 7-yard return from the 29.
How long has there been a Cohee at Ardmore?
A long time. 31-yard punt. Richardson, an 8-yard return. So Ada will take over. Their first offensive possession. An offense, Trey, that struggled a week ago. Only 88 total yards, but escaped with a win.
Yep. W is all that matters.
And I know off that performance, 36 rush yards on 25 carries, they even kind of simplified the playbook a little bit this week, trying to find the things that they can get comfortable with, build some consistency with. Let's see how they come out on their first drive. You got LeKeven Richardson wide right in the slot.
21 set here, 2 running backs, 1 tight end.
Brock Boyles will run down the offense in a moment. The sophomore quarterback, Rhines to his left, takes the handoff, dances up inside across the 40. A good surge by the offensive line, and Xander pushes to the 41 for a nice first down run of 5. So the Ada offense up front, you got Dawson Matthews, Isaiah Hayden, Makir Sanusi, Cale Fuller, and Will Johnson left to right up front. Most of the time left to right. That will switch a bit. Xander Ryan, senior running back. Brock Boyle, sophomore quarterback. LeKeven Richardson.
Case Stafford on the far right.
And then Cord Coffey's the tight end. Fisher Marr, the sniffer. Here's the Boyles handing off. Ryan's 45-50. Speed is on. 40, 35, 30, 25 for Xander. Oh, they sealed the edge. And Xander finally found some space to show his 400-meter speed all the way to the 25-yard line, Trey. A gain of 34 and a Cougar first down.
That's something we didn't see last week. No big plays. Love to see him get on the edge. Last week we really tried to pound it up the middle. This week we were able to get the edge there. Good job by the wide receiver on this side. I believe it was LeKeven, but I'm not sure on that.
Yeah, LeKeven was here and Stafford was wide right a moment ago. This time,
but Keevan went in a motion. It was probably fullback coming across.
Kamari Richardson in the game. There's a snap direct to LeKeven, cutting inside the 25. A little direct snap to LeKeven Richardson. His athleticism gets to the 21 right now. The offensive line, a good surge. And going to practice earlier in the week, talking to head coach Brad Osteen, he said the offensive line really had a good couple days of practice. Didn't perform well against Durant. It was a tough, and he just said just didn't grade out well, but really liked the way they practiced this week in preparation for Ardmore.
Got Carter Colomb in for the first time tonight here on the left side. Going back over.
Carter, a senior wide receiver.
Going to have 3 wideouts in the game. Carter Colomb, Kamari, and Case Stafford.
So trips, 2 to the right.
Direct snap to LeKeven again.
Single to the left, the boundary side. Man in motion's Kamari. He takes it on the inside handoff and gets tripped up at the line of scrimmage, trying to little jet sweep action, and he was brought down by Jackson Halstead.
Jacorian.
Is that Jacorian? Yes, it is. I'm sorry about that. Jacorian, excuse me. Halstead to 21, thank you.
I'm going to do no gain there.
That was Kamari?
Yep.
So third down, big play for Ada. They started this drive at their own 36. Big play on the drive at 34-yard Xander Rhines run.
Karan Richardson in for the first time.
Gets the handoff, makes a man miss, and that might get him close to a first down. Now bulldozes his way just short of the first down marker. Nifty move by Kamari to make a man miss just inside the 20. Karan inside the 20, and he got his way down almost to the first down marker. It's going to be fourth down for Ada.
We're going to go goal line here
at the 16.
Heavy set. I see Delaware, Samuel Jordan coming in, so it's kind of a heavy set.
So fourth down for Ada. A week ago, the Cougar offense was 0 of 1 on fourth down.
Fisher
gets it. First down, 20. Carrying tacklers. Fisher-Marr finally brought down by a couple of Ardmore tacklers. But Fisher-Marr, who had 25 yards on 5 carries a week ago, has a first down. Antonio Taylor and Peyton Smith got him, but the Cougars keep the drive alive at the 14 for Fisher. He got 2 and only needed 1.
Good job getting the edge there. Fisher, initially he had about 3 yards, tried to spin out of a tackle, and they brought him back a yard, but nevertheless, first down, job done.
Deontay Lindsey, wide right, along with LaKeven Richardson.
Colton Carlock in the game.
They get it to Karan. Nope. Fake. Carlock on the fake to Karan. Good fake. And didn't get much as he slung down on the right side, on the right hash mark.
I think got him on the 12.
So a couple of yards for Colton.
That's 3 quarterbacks in the game so far. Really
trying to give different run formation looks, keep the defense a little bit off balance. Ardmore runs a 4-3, 4-4 many times, though, the way they come up in the box.
4-3 or a 5-2, the old Chicago Bear defense. They may walk one of those linebackers down. They definitely got 4 down now.
Richardson left, Stafford right. Quick pitch, Karan. 10,
cut.
5, looking for his first touchdown. Got to the 4.
Going to be enough for a first down, I believe.
Well, that's nice feet by Karan. Yeah. Just took the lateral pitch and then got his shoulders north and south to the 4-yard line.
He's a fullback and a tailback body. I mean, he's got the moves. Wait, a tailback and a fullback body. Sorry, reversed. He's got power, but he's also got the moves.
Probably, as you watch that play there,
they're going to measure here.
Saw more of that than you kind of could see a little bit of the package with that play.
Yep.
Because of his strength, his quick feet to get turned north and south, and when he does that with his size.
It's like they're about 3 inches short.
It'll be third down. Nice drive for Ada. Started with 8:13 to play from their own 36 after forcing an Ardmore punt after Ardmore had 1 first down on their first possession. No score first quarter, Coy East-O Stadium. Cougar football presented in part by Ada Nissan, Great Plains Kubota, Wild Rose Place, Hilltop Dodge, First United Bank, T&W Tire, Classic Cake, Landrum ENT, part of our Cougar sponsor package this year. We appreciate all the businesses that help bring you Ada Cougar football. This 100th meeting between Ada and Ardmore, and Ada trying to get to 2-0 on the season. A final non-district tune-up next week at home, and then the next first 2 district games at home after a week off. So third down.
Same set as earlier. Except you got Brock Boyle split that out wide left.
Moore going to take the snap, probably going to run it. Yep, coming off. Got a big hole, cuts inside. Touchdown, Ada! Fisher-Marr into the end zone for the touchdown for the Ada Cougars. He got one last week, and that time not only the offensive line, but the lead, the sniffer backs helped as well, Trey. A big hole for Fisher, and the Cougars are on the board on their first possession of the game.
Did we throw a pass?
No. Well, Lawton Eisenhower ran through them last week, and Ada watched the film, and they said, we're going to run multiple sets and run the football. Caden Mitchell splits the irons. Cougars 7, Ardmore nothing. 4:04 to play opening quarter from Coy East-O Stadium. Cougar football presented by the Chickasaw Nation. Welcome back to Coy East-O Stadium, with Ada Cougars have just gone 64 yards in 9 plays, 4 minutes and 9 seconds. And Trey, what I liked about the drive, never had to go to the air, no penalties committed, a flawless drive by the Ada Cougars.
Yeah, went to fourth down once, but were able to convert it, and it was, I don't know that it was ever in question that it was going to be converted. So a very successful drive, much better than last week. You know, last week we went one play and then I had a fumble. That was we went to instant replay in the booth there at Durant. They overruled the call on the field and gave Durant the ball. Was the right call, I think.
Caden Mitchell will put it on the right hash mark this time. From the 40-yard line, approaches, going to kick this one high and deep. Nice leg. Fielded, 13-yard line, coming out as Hallstead, and
Good
he is
job,
met.
Kamari.
How about Kamari on the
Great open field tackle.
The kickoff team, the special teams, Coach Wade Boyles does a great job coaching these guys up, and Kamari got down and one-on-one said not in Ada. Got him at the 24-yard line. Ardmore sets up shop 1st and 10. 4 minutes to play in the first quarter. The Cougars on top 7-zip.
I was afraid Kamari had overrun it a little bit, but did a great job adjusting and then finishing off the tackle.
Coffey, Coyle, and Johnson on the line. Deontay, Lindsey, Kamari, Richards in the corners.
We do have Kelton Stipe in for the first time. They're in the middle with George. Fisher probably getting a breather.
Yep, going both ways. Miller, the quarterback, hands it off up the
Cord
middle,
Coffey.
and Singleton has nowhere to go because Cord Coffey shed his block, got down the line
Along
of
with
scrimmage,
Kelton.
and wrapped up. The running back, who's actually number 6 this time, another different Ardmore running back, Kylan Haskins in the game. A junior, got to the 25.
I really like the way this defense is swarming right now. Got to be careful not to get a misdirection out of it, so stay sound on the backside.
Ardmore had a couple big runs in that big.
They get loose, they can go.
They got speed as always. Miller
Kelton
the option down the line. Here's Riddle chasing the pitch man. They got him. Stipe wraps him up. Brennan Riddle stopped him, missed the tackle, but Kelton Stipe finished him off. And how about Stipe? I was talking about him in practices this week. He's going to be a good football player. He already is.
He's got a nose.
He's going to continue to get better.
Got to watch him quite a bit in JV last year. Love the way he plays. He initially blew that up in the backfield, was on the ground, got back up, and got out to make the tackle.
That was freshman Tyson Laster on the pitch. They tried the option play to the left, and when you play against option football, we talked to Coach Osteen about this, and, it's just discipline. Stay in your lanes.
Just do your job.
Do your job, and the Cougars did that beautifully there. 3rd down and 16. Let's see if Ardmore goes to the air. Miller takes the snap. Nope, little counter play, and there's nothing. Oh, the Cougars are all over it.
Will Johnson initially.
On 3rd down and 16, they run a counter going back to the left, and Will Johnson shut it down on the inside, and they're going to mark it at the 19. They gave him a yard, and nothing there. So Ardmore was content that time to just take their medicine. The Cougars push him back 5 yards, and it's punt time for the Ardmore Tigers. First punt went for 31 yards. Got LaKeven Richardson standing in Ardmore territory. There's a deep, nice kick. LaKeven backs up to his 40, drops it. Picks it up, drops it again. Ardmore had it. Ada scrambling for it. It's a scrum inside the 40-yard line. And if Ardmore gets it, the field position just got turned around. LaKeven probably should have just jumped on it, and Ardmore's got it at the 38-yard line. 36-yard punt and a miscue by Ada.
Where did he field that at? About the 35?
Just inside. I got 36. Had him about the 40, then it kind of bounced backwards. So Ardmore, I didn't see who the Ardmore player was who got on the football, but they'll take over. The $1:55 to play at the 8:37. They're going to run it, and there's nowhere to go. J.B. Coyle that time shot through and got the running back Haskins in the backfield tray as the Ada run defense right now is on target.
Yeah, they lost a yard there.
They went back from the 37 backwards to the 38. So 2nd and 11. Ada had turned it over 4 times last week, forced 5, but that's just a miscue in the punt game. Miller under center, man in motion, takes it, going to try his first pass, throws it out in the flat, intercepted. Deontay Lindsey is third of the year. Deontay stayed disciplined, picked it off. Cougars get it back at their own 37.
Look what I found.
Well, Miller kind of pump faked it, Trey, and Deontay just didn't bite. He just waited, and Miller tried to loft it up, and Deontay picked it off.
Picked it off at about the 33, Kenny.
Got a 5-yard return. So Ada will take over. The teams exchange turnovers. There's a minute 12 to play. You got Brock Boyles back in at quarterback. Karan Richardson slanting off the right side. Stood up at the 40. A little bit of room.
Gave him a good spot. Far guy did.
Payne in on the tackle, one of the Ardmore Tigers. Good spot at the 41, so 3 for Karan. We play here inside a minute of the first quarter, 48 seconds and counting. Ada leads 7-0 on a touchdown by Fisher Moore and a nice opening drive by Ada. Twin receivers to the right. Boyles in the gun. Slanting left. Karan got lots of room. What a space created and a surge by the Ada offensive line, Trey. Hallstein made the tackle, but not before Karan got to the 49 in Ardmore territory.
Yeah, I want to see him get in the open field.
There was he had so much space there. That line just really came firing off, and he was in the second level in a hurry.
You got to wonder about the morale of Ardmore after what happened to him last week, and then Ada kind of imposing their will there on the start. Looks like we're probably going to let the quarter go out here.
We'll set that Ardmore defense in a moment. You got Derek Mealy, Chase Stewart, Xavier Jones, Kenny Weaver. 4 defensive linemen, they're all seniors. So they're veteran up front, are the Ardmore Tigers. But right now, Ada pushing the ball down the field. 1 quarter in the books from Coe Stadium. Home opener, 100th meeting, Ada and Ardmore. Ada 7, Ardmore nothing. This is Cougar football, a presentation of the Chickasaw Nation. Welcome back to Coe Stadium. 1 quarter, a quick first quarter. Saw 1 pass thrown, and it resulted in the third interception by Deontay Lindsay in this young season. Ada, a nice first quarter drive, 9 plays, 64 yards, 4 minutes, 9 seconds. Fisher Moore, 4-yard touchdown run. 7-0 on the move again in Ardmore territory.
Kenny, I think we may be done before 12:05 this week.
That was a quick first quarter. I like the under on that.
Yeah. Barring any Oklahoma gas and electric issues. And we may be on PC here. I don't know.
Yeah.
All the hot air coming out of the...
we got a new air conditioning unit in here. It doesn't really... We got the window open. It doesn't really cool it down for us as much, but hopefully helps the equipment. I understand the broadcast signal is great tonight, video and audio, and we appreciate you listening at K80ARadio.net and watching.
Xander back in the backfield with Carlock.
Yep, Carlock in the gun. Fakes it, runs it straight up the middle. 45, secondary, 40-yard line. Got drugged down hard, but almost to the 40. Got some good feet. There's Colton Carlock fired up in the gap. Brought down by Gavin Lewis, a 6'1", 255 defensive lineman. Going to mark it at the 41. So 2nd down and 2.
Ideal. 2nd and 2 opens the playbook up. Something tells me we're probably going to hand it off again because we've had a lot of success with that.
Xander Rhines back in. To the near boundary is Stafford and Richardson. Hand to Rhines running left.
Good cut.
Back up inside, to the 35-yard line. Great patience by Xander. Javon Singleton, got him. Xander just patient as he got it on the edge, and you see a lot more long handoffs, getting to the tackle in position, kind of toward the outside in that gap on the corner for the Cougars so far. And Karan and Xander doing a nice job hitting the holes.
Carter Colomb in the game. We do have Ashton Rowell in at the right tackle.
Up back is Fisher Moore. Boyles takes the snap. Going to run it again. Xander coming right this time. Cuts inside 35-30. Tried to angle back to the sideline. Got knocked off his feet by a couple of Ardmore tacklers. You got
5.
Loftus along with Peyton Smith got him. But again, they got him all the way to the 30-yard line. You'll take 5 yards. Last week against that stingy Durant defense, 25 rushes, 36 yards when it was all compiled. Cougars already rushing the football beyond those numbers. Biggest play came on a 34-yard run in the first quarter by Xander Rhines. Shotgun for Brock. Here's Xander again. Nope, play action. Brock going to keep it and just got to eat him sometime. That time
he didn't lose yardage, I don't think.
Kind of danced his way back to the 30-yard line. Brock put it in the belly of Rhines. Didn't like what he saw, took it out of the belly,
right side of that defensive line got some penetration there, and Brock didn't really have time. It looked like it was going to be maybe a shallow crossing route there over on the left side, and didn't have time for that to develop.
I'm going to give him a yard loss back to the 31, the official mark. LaKeven Richardson wide left. Ball on the left hash mark, or just inside of it. Lindsey to the right. Here's Richardson, 30, 25, spinning, and he'll have a first down. Caron got to the second level. And again, yards after contact. With the career in the career of this young man going forward, you want to watch because he's hit and usually does not go down immediately. They're going to mark it all the way down to the 22. He got 9 and a Cougar first down.
Yeah, Caron has a chance to be really, really good.
In a tight formation, run formation, but a play action. Brock going to roll, looking, going to run it. Good read, 20, cuts it up inside and didn't like what he saw and made a positive play. And that's one thing they've worked on in practice this week. Brock forced a few last week. That time didn't like what he saw, Trey, so turned his shoulders north and south and got down to the 17, got 5 yards.
Picked up 5 yards. There's nothing wrong with that. Anytime you roll out like that, Kenny, you kind of take out half the field. So we had a receiver open over on the left side, but Brock's rolling this way, and that's a tough to see, if nothing else.
Sanusi over center, Fuller and Rowell to his right. And Dawson Matthews got a little bit of a quick start in the left tackle position. First aid, a penalty of the night, going to push him back to the 22.
Second, we had one on offense.
Offsides on defense, that's right. First play of the game.
Yep.
So 2nd and 10 on the false start. George Maddox was in on that play, comes out. Deontay Lindsey will bring in the play. Deontay already through a game and a quarter plus 5 quarters of football defensively with three interceptions.
He's got more catches on the defensive side of the ball than he does on offense. Got 2 receptions.
Brennan Riddle sniffer on the right. They're going to throw an out pattern. Deontay catches
it.
18, 15, 10, 5. Hello, end zone. Deontay Lindsey says, catch this, my friend. He caught it at the 18. Got his shoulders going toward the end zone. South end of Coyisto Stadium. 22-yard touchdown. Boyles to Lindsey. 13-0 Ada.
And I brought up last week that he had a dream that I called a play for him, Kenny, and in that dream he hurdled across the goal line. I don't know if you picked it up there, but the runner-up in the 300-meter hurdles just hurdled into the end zone.
Not only did he hurdle, he showed a quick burst, Trey, after he caught that. Just ran away from the defender. So at the 8:13 mark, Ada leads 13-0. Stafford holds off the Morris snap, and Caden Mitchell splits the irons again. 8:13 to play here in the second quarter. Mitchell with the PAT. Ada 14, Ardmore nothing.
Kenny, let's keep it here for the Mick Cowan trivia question. Last week's winner, Caden Balthroff. This week, who is the only Ada Cougar coach that is undefeated against Ardmore? There's been, 15, 16 coaches, some with as high as a 750 win percentage, but there's only one that is undefeated. Text your answer to Trey at 580-495-9099.
9 plays, 62 yards, 4 minutes, 59 seconds, 22-yard touchdown pass, Brock Boyles to Deontay Lindsey. That almost identical drives. The first drive was 9 plays, 62 yards in 4 minutes and 9 seconds. Consistency by the Cougars, and Boyles put it right where it needed to be. And with a playmaker like Deontay, sometimes just get the ball to them in space where they can make a play, and Deontay showed what kind of threat he can be.
Yep. I want to give credit to the O-line. They gave Brock time to get the pass away. But that's set up, Kenny, by a successful running game. There's 2 theories. You can either run to open up the pass, or you can pass to open up the run. What Ada's done in this game is obviously run the ball to open up the passing game. And it makes those passes a lot easier to complete.
Mitchell from the 40 left hash mark, boots it. High pooch coming right. It's going to be fair caught at the 36-yard line by Loftus. Loftus at the 36. That's where Ardmore will take over 1st and 10. So Ada's defense back on the field. And you know what? I'm going to make a comment here. Kelton Stipe came in and played outstanding, Trey, on that last possession. Fisher Marr, we know what he can do, but he's playing both ways. Got to take a series off. And And I'm telling you,
He played well.
He played really well. That's got to be that's a huge boost for that Ada defense.
Got Eli Justice in here for Xander. Got Colin Christian in for the first time at the right corner.
Miller didn't like what he saw and called a timeout. Colin's a sophomore wide receiver, defensive back. Talked about Eli Justice, a sophomore as well, some youth out there. We'll take a quick break. 8:12 to play, second quarter. Ada on top of Ardmore, the 100th meeting. 14-0 Cougars. Cougar football, a presentation of the Chickasaw Nation. Back to Coy Easto Stadium where the Cougars lead Ardmore 14-0. 8:12 to play, second quarter. Cougar offense last week, only 88 yards, Trey. They've been efficient so far tonight.
17 carries, 109 yards, a little over 6 a carry. One catch for 22 yards. Ardmore has 10 carries for -5 yards.
Wow.
In the game. And a pick.
Ada defense has been stifling, and they're using several to keep people fresh. Miller, after the timeout, hugs the center underneath. Handoff off the left side for a few yards.
The tackle was
Singleton.
Fisher and George will get it, but the tackle was actually made by number 2, laying on the ground, tackled his own guy.
He got up to the 41-yard line. The ball carrier was Singleton. So he got 5, or from 37, got 4, 37 to the 41. So Ardmore, again, that's a team that, as you can tell, coached by Josh Newby, that they can't afford to play from behind. And so far, last week and this week, been on the ropes. They handed off up the middle again and lunging forward Singleton. Cord Coffee
yep.
got him as he lunged to the 45. So 4 more. Going to bring up third down and mark it just outside the 44, between the 44 and 45. Call it third down and a long 2, short 3. Up over the football for Ardmore is Adrian White, 6 foot 210 center. Their front line average is 254. They're going to run the quarterback right up the middle, and it's going to come to it's going to be close.
Not according to this side. There's literally a yard difference between the far official and the one on this side. Luckily, this guy's the hash where it's at, so it'll be advanced to 42.
Just short of the 47, and they need to reach the other side of the 47 by about a nose of the football. They're about a foot short, Trey.
That means I can only give him to the 46.
That's right.
Sorry.
So 4th and short. It was Miller on the quarterback's sneak. 6:30 to play in the first half. They're going to go for it. Ada digs in defensively. Miller takes the snap. Oh! Got him in the backfield. JB shot through. Did he get away and lunge for a first down? It's going to be close.
He reached the ball out as he was going down, Kenny. I think they're going to give it to him.
Singleton got it. JB shot through and hit him at the 45-yard line, and somehow he spun loose and got the first down. That does not take away from the play that JB Coyle just made. Singleton's a good-sized back at 6'1", 210, and JB just obliterated the center off the snap.
You got to give Singleton credit for keeping his feet moving.
From the 47, man in
Dugan
motion
in
is
at
Taylor.
safety, and so is McGilbray.
And they throw it and got a quick one. They got a first down to Jackson Hurt. Just a quick throw to Hurt.
Yeah, I completely missed it. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I mean, he just stood up and threw a quick one to Jackson Hurt, tight end, 5'10", 195, Trey. Got down to the 41-yard line for a gain of, we'll call it 12 and a first down.
Colin Christian with a tackle. So that's down to the 42. I can't give him.
So that's the Ardmore passing game, just a little quick hitters. That's their first completion. Miller again under center, flex bone. Man in motion is Taylor. Gets the pitch running right. Gets turned back inside.
Eli Justice turned him inside originally.
Maddox out there to help. And all that going east and west. Got really nothing on the play. Going to be second down and 10. Trying to get some speed to the edge with Antonio Taylor.
Ada's outside linebackers, the star of the Jack, are doing a really good job of getting upfield and not letting them get to the edge.
5:05 to play. Old Glory. North
Not
end
doing
zone.
much.
Almost, it's not hardly, you got a wrinkle in it. Winds have calmed. Taylor in motion. Miller turns, hands it off. Got a little crease as Maddox brings down Haskins off the dive play off tackle. Ball resting at the 36-yard line. They'll credit him with 5. So 3rd down and 5 for Ardmore. Been a lot of ground game for both clubs. Rapidly played game. 4:28 to play. On 3rd down, Cougars have jumped off sides as they sent the man in motion, Tyson Laster, and the Cougars
JB again, I believe.
Jumped on the snap count. Rao will come in for JB Coyle, and that will probably be a 1st down, should be by penalty for Ardmore at the 31-yard line in Cougar territory.
5-yard penalty will result in a 1st down for Ardmore.
Kenny, you have the play he made a minute ago when he got past the center, and that's kind of the same thing he was trying to do there and just went a little bit early.
He just anticipates that so well. And every once in a while, just jumps the gun. Taylor in motion. Miller wants to throw. Back in the pocket. Flushed right by Zander. Now chased by Cord and wrestled out of bounds. Zander flushed him. Cord got him. At the Ardmore sideline on the far side, they're going to mark it back for a Cougar loss. Cougar had 2 sacks.
Is that a sack?
Yep, they had 2 a week ago. As Cord Coffey got that one back at the 34 for a 3-yard loss.
Good job by Zander there. Causing some disruption.
Yeah, Zander turned it, flushed him, got him to the sidelines, and Cord started to smell it. Went and got him. 34-yard line. Jackson Hurt comes to the near side, the left side. 3:58 to play. 2nd and 13, 2nd quarter. Miller option. Stops on a dime, cuts back up inside, and got a little bit of yardage. Crosses the 30 to the 8 at 29.
Nope, Will Johnson.
Miller's going to be probably a pretty good quarterback. Just a freshman, getting lots of snaps here. Derek Mealy, 6'1", 240. Chase Stewart, 6'1", 310. Adrian White, 6', 210. Gavin Lewis, 6'1", 255. Xavier Jones, 6', 255. The Ardmore front guys, again, they're all upperclassmen, seniors. Twin receivers, a single left, a single right. Flex bone, Miller up under center. They do not run out of the gun. Takes the snap, counter play coming back right. Taylor is hemmed in by about 3 or 4 Cougars. Tried to bounce it outside, but Ada, nice pursuit over there.
George, I believe.
Yep, and also looks like that Kamari up in there from his defensive back position. Will be 4th down. They're going to mark it at the 37.
27.
Excuse me, 27. Thank you. 27-yard line going from the 29 to the 27. They got to reach the 21, so 4th down. Cougar defense trying to get off the field. Leading 14-0. Durant last week 0-2 on 4th.
Start.
And boy, they
just going to back him up 5. Left tackle raised up a little bit early.
And they love that pop pass to the tight end just as soon as he comes off the line of scrimmage.
I don't imagine that's going to change anything, but probably the play call, Kenny. They're kind of in no man's land. It's not a punt. It's not a field goal.
Yep. They move it back to the 32 after the false start.
From Derek Mealy.
We'll have all your replays for you, but brought to you by Ada Nissan at halftime. Try to catch some of the Ada Cougar band as well. All right, 4th down. Taylor in motion. Miller turns back to pass, flushed right. Throws one, and it's tipped and incomplete.
Almost picked off by J.D. Dugan.
Halstead tried to haul it in about a yard short of the 1st down marker, went through his hands incomplete, and the Ada Cougar defense is off the field. Ardmore picked up 3 first downs, but Ada gets it turnover on downs and has some time with 2:20 to play. See if they go. We watched them yesterday, Trey, in that 2-minute offense, running some plays. Let's see
they
if
were really good against no defense.
Let's see if they can. I wouldn't be surprised to see a run play on 1st down, then maybe go to that.
Yeah, if you can pop, I mean, 2:20 is plenty of time, even to run it down the field as long as you hurry up getting the plays off.
The empty set, 3 receivers out. Now Rhines will go back and set up, and we got. Is that a legal formation by the Cougars? Too many men moving, maybe. I'm not sure.
No, you can all move, but I don't know if one of them was set.
False start.
If they had their hand in the ground, I don't think you can pick it up and move.
They started with an empty set. They moved Rhines from the into the backfield, and Coffey shifted left, and too much movement for the Cougars somewhere along the way. So it'll be 1st and 15 from the 27. Case Stafford will bring in the play. Case, one of the young men that was at our luncheon on Thursday, Trey, that him and Xander Rhines fielded some questions, and represented themselves in the school, and families top-notch. Play action for Brock, coming right, looking for Case, got him, 33-yard line and out of bounds. There's that little quick pass.
I like it.
Clock stops. Case Stafford, a great possession receiver.
Picked up 7.
Got some really good hands. They're going to mark it at the 34-yard line. So, yep, got 7. And got out of bounds to stop the clock.
You can run that a couple times, Kenny. Then you can do a double move, and you got somebody open deep. I wouldn't be surprised to see Xander get the ball here, though.
Sanusi over the football.
Timeout for Ardmore.
Yep, their second timeout. We'll take 1-2. 2:14 to play second quarter. The Cougars on the high side, 14-0. This is Cougar football. Tonight's broadcast, a presentation of the Chickasaw Nation. Welcome back to Coy-Easto Stadium. Good first half by Ada. They lead at 14-0. Hadn't been a lot of possessions. You know, Ada has scored on 2 of their 3 possessions. The only, well, really, on both their possessions. The other one, they fumbled the punt, didn't have a chance to possess it.
Right. Kenny still don't have a correct answer. Who's the only Ada Cougar coach that is undefeated against Ardmore? Text your answer to 580-495-9099.
2:14 to play. Cougars from their 34. 2nd and 8. Boyles takes the snap, rolls left, throws for Deontay, and through his hands.
Yep.
Would have had a first down.
Not a bad pass there. It was high, a little bit high, but one Deontay's going to say he should have caught. You know, they say anytime you hit your hands, you should catch it. But that one really, I think, was a catchable ball. We saw that's some improvement from Brock Kenny yesterday. We saw a lot of those were low, and so he got that one up where it was definitely catchable.
Cougars got the play in, got 4 receivers, 2 left and 2 right. Brock takes the snap. Ryan stays in the block. Brock rolling right, flushed out of the pocket, trying to get to the boundary and a first down, and is out of bounds at about the 40. Is that a late hit? Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Boyles got out of bounds. Good scramble again. I like the poise
they
tonight.
Gave him a rush to the 42.
It was close to a first down anyway, and now we're going to put 15 on it, so it's an 8-yard run by Brock. Maybe he stuck the football out as he was going out of bounds, and it'll be a first down. It's actually going to be we're going to call it a first down. How do you call it? What is close? I don't know if it's actually a first down on the run or not. It was in a football length. Then a personal foul will move it all the way down to the Ardmore 43. Now Trey, playbook wide open, 2:02 to play. They've gone from their own 32 to the Ardmore 43 in 18 seconds.
Good job there by Brock. Hit both his receivers on this right side, and like I mentioned earlier, when you roll them out, you're taking away the other side of the field, unless it's a intentional trying to get the opposite side open. 4
in the pattern again. Brock going to throw deep, looking for Kamari for the end zone, right through his hands. Oh, baby. Brock put it in the breadbasket, and Kamari let that one slip through. That's a touchdown.
Yeah, that was a great pass.
Protection was great. The pattern was good, and Kamari just didn't reel it in. Young man will get another chance. Kamari Richardson, just a sophomore wide receiver. He's got a little cramp as he goes down, but he'll be the first, I think, to tell you, oh, my goodness. Should have had that one. 2nd and 10. I like the protection, though, and Cougars are running that pattern a lot. We watched it in the 2-minute drill yesterday.
Kevin Case and Colin Christian this side, Deontay Lindsay on the
trips to this side. They're going to go to the other side of Deontay on the out pattern. That one's a little shallow. Again, maybe catchable, but a little bit low. Deontay would
not
have
a perfect pass by any means.
Would have had to really come back to it. So 3rd down and 10. Still plenty of time with $1:52 to play.
That's one where Deontay maybe in the future slides. I know you don't want to do that in a 2-minute offense, but catch the ball first. And we got 3 timeouts left. You can burn one if you need to. So,
and you got 2 downs to get 10 here. We're in, I think, in 4-down territory the way the Ada defense has played. Boyles out of the gun, takes the snap.
Good job, Deuce.
Yeah, throws deep toward the end zone, looking for LeKeven. It's up and deflected and intercepted at the 5-yard line. The ball was double covered, and Hallstead got the deflection at the 5-yard line. So Ardmore has turned away Ada on an interception by Jacorian Hallstead at the 5-yard line.
Yeah, that one floated on him a little bit. I believe was that Kevin over here? I believe.
Yep.
Had him beat over the top, a little bit underthrown.
So Ardmore starts at their own 5 with 1:45 to play.
got to believe that their offense is not really built for a 2-minute offense, but we'll see.
I'd be surprised they didn't do anything but run the football or try to make that quick pass to that tight end. Hurt coming off the line of scrimmage. They got a tight formation. They run it right off tackle. Singleton crosses the 10.
Chase Bailey, and he's on the bottom there. Kamari, he's cramping up. That's probably going to happen the rest of the game.
Yeah, he was over here stretching after he ran that pattern, that pass that was almost a Cougar touchdown. 1:31 to play. Ada leads 14-zip. 100th all-time meeting Ada and Ardmore tonight. The Ardmore band, the Ada band, and all performing at halftime. OBI trophy presentation.
Case in at that left corner now for Kamari. Safeties are Carlock and Bailey.
2nd down and 4. They run it up the middle again.
Fisher.
Singleton to the 14. Yeah, Fisher just kind of picking his way down the line of scrimmage. Dawson Matthews going to come in on the defensive line.
I believe Cord actually helped clean that up with Fisher. Couldn't really tell.
3rd and 1. Miller under center. Ada has their full allotment of timeouts. Probably would use one if they get a stop here. Miller going to look to pass, and we got a false start against Ardmore. Well, he didn't have the tight end open. Cougars were ready for it that time. He wanted to go to Jackson Hurt, the might have been Bailey over there who jumped up and immediately said, yep, you're going to get through me to throw it to Hurt this time. The false start moves it back to the 9.
Chase had that big pick last week.
Set up a touchdown on a 58-yard return. Under 50 seconds to play on this snap by Miller. Getting direction from the sideline. They're going to let the clock run down. That's probably pretty wise. Cougars would like not to use a timeout at this point. Miller now back under center. Another false start by Ardmore.
I'd call a timeout now.
Chase Stewart jumped.
And Coach Osteen Shamley may be asking on a dead ball penalty, why is the clock running?
Yeah, I mean, that's it shouldn't. I mean, if a team's out of timeouts late in the game, the offense could do that and just run the clock out. We talked about that at some point in the last year or two.
It stopped this time.
Yep. 37 seconds to play.
Yeah, you get a lead and you just get down to the 1 and take 5-yard penalties.
Miller going to throw it. Now the quarterback draw, and the Cougars.
Good shoestring tackle there by Carlock, I believe.
Miller had a little space over here if he breaks the Carlock tackle. There's the 8 timeout. He got out to the 8-yard line. And the Cougars know they can't Miller, even though he's inexperienced, he's not inexperienced with his speed.
No, he can go.
So it's punt time again for Ardmore. This will be their 3rd punt. And they've turned it over on downs, punted now 3 times, and thrown an interception in their 5 possessions, Trey.
Yeah, they have cleaned up, well, until this drive, they had cleaned up their pre-snap penalties. Obviously, it hurt them here when it was the most needed to not have.
Looking down below us, we've got an outstanding Ada crowd.
And Ardmore's filled in a little bit. Still not as many as I was expecting.
It's going to be Damon Cohey, freshman, in his own end zone.
Keevan back again.
He's at the 42-yard line in Ardmore territory. Line drive kick, 42-yard line. LeKeevan coming right, 35, 30, 25, 20, cuts back, 15, darts inside 10, 9, spins. Oh, the Cougars have a 1st and goal at the 9. 33-yard return for Keevan from the 42 to the 9. 34-yard punt.
Now you see why they're leaving him back there. He can do something special.
33-yard return.
They got him on the 10, Kenny. Just inside the 10.
1st and goal, so I guess we'll have to call it the 9, I suppose.
I don't have to call it anything.
What do you call yourself, the mouth?
I'm the mouth. You're the voice.
Cougars first and goal, just inside the 10. How about that? Boyle's the quarterback. Caron running left, trying to get outside, showing speed. 10, 5, pylon, spins, touchdown! Caron Richardson, his first high school touchdown. The offensive line pinned their guys inside. Caron had one to beat, and he beat him to the corner. And Ada has turned a Lakevian Richardson punt return of 33 yards into a Caron Richardson touchdown. If it stands, as the officials gather for some reason, and I think we may have a hold against Ada. I didn't see a flag, but they're walking over to Josh Newby acting like it's a hold call. I don't see the laundry. I see it over there, in the in the orange paint in the end zone. Oh, Caron got it in the end zone on a nifty move, and they're going to say, they're going to say,
touchdown.
It does count. Dead ball foul against Ada.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Maybe that was, I don't know if it was Caron doing a cartwheel into the end zone or.
But the guy hit him on the leg, and he was diving. I mean, that's the safest way to dive.
So a 9-yard touchdown by Caron Richardson stands. Ada leads 20-0. They're going to make the extra point from the 25-yard line. Let's give Caden Mitchell a little challenge. Here's the snap. It's back. Mitchell's kick is on the way. It's fluttering just short and off to the left. Almost got it from 35. Ada leads 20-0. 14 seconds to play in the first half. This is Cougar football streaming at KADARadio.net, a presentation of the Chickasaw Nation. Well, Trey, one play, 9 yards, 6 seconds. 20-0 Ada, all set up by Lakevian Richardson's fantastic 33-yard punt return from the 42 down to the 9-yard line, and then Caron Richardson into the end zone. And something to be said about that, Trey, is sophomore Lakevian Richardson, sophomore Caron Richardson.
Yeah, and I know the call there, Kenny, and that appears what it was, the diving in the end zone, but the guy hit his legs at the 2, and he's diving, and all he did was roll, which is the safest way to dive. You know, it wasn't, knowing Caron, it wasn't a celebratory, unsportsmanlike conduct.
Mitchell kicks off high.
That's going to land.
Yep, lands at the 20, bounces. Taylor fields it at the 18, and it goes out of bounds.
That's perfect.
Beautiful kick. So Ardmore will start at their 18-yard line with only 12 seconds to play. Probably one play and
deep pass, you think?
Ardmore have the ball. First down and 10 at the 18.
How about a quarterback or a singleton run? It's been primarily the run game. Ada leads 20-0. Caron Richardson getting pat on the helmet from the coaching staff. This Ada coaching staff doing a great job. Head coach Brad Osteen, defensive coordinator Colby Shamley, special teams coordinator.
Stike back in. This time for George. Play both those positions.
We're running down the rest of that staff here in just a little bit.
Sorry about that.
Leads this Ada Cougar team. Nope, not a problem.
That's why they call me the mouth.
And Miller is going to take a 2-yard loss. Add to their rushing numbers that have not been good.
I'm not going to count that, Kenny. It's just like a victory formation at the end of the game. I don't think a kneel down should count against the quarterback. You know what I mean?
I agree with you. Into the maybe team, but not the quarterback, then you're all messed up, aren't you?
If somebody wants to come do the stats, that's fine, but otherwise it's going to go down as no play.
Cougars dominate the first half. They leave the Ardmore Tigers 20-0. We'll have your first half Ada Nissan replay and recap a good first half for the Cougars here in their home opener, leading Ardmore 20-0. This is Ada Cougar football, a presentation of the Chickasaw Nation. Welcome back to Coisto Stadium. Kenny Morrison, Trey Kinley, Mason Lee on camera, Nathan Crowell, our engineer, doing a great job tonight.
What are we doing here, Kenny?
He's got some replays up there for us. Yeah, we're gonna if we to give you the first half recap. We got some stuff going on the field. This is the OBI trophy presentation. I'll let you listen to that about blood drive.
Oklahoma Blood Institute. Ardmore had 47 successful donations. Ada had 55 successful donations.
Between Ardmore and Ada, 102 donations.
We need our young people donating to help save lives. Between both schools, it's
So
over
we'll
100
carry that out there. That's really good. OBI presenting that trophy. First half recap.
The winner. The OBI will present a plaque
as Ada leads it 20-0 at halftime. Ada won the toss, deferred. Ardmore took the football, got a first down, ran 6 plays, had to punt. Ada took over in their first possession, 8:13 to play in the opening quarter, thrown 36-yard line. On their second play from scrimmage, got a big run from Xander Rhines of 34 yards all the way down to the Ardmore 25-yard line. Play started at the Ada 41. The Cougars finally got it down to the 4-yard line. Fisher Moore got in the end zone last week, and on the Cougars' first possession this week, number 10 got the call and found the end zone. Run it, yep, coming off, got a big hole, cuts inside, touchdown Ada! Fisher Moore. Offensive line was outstanding up front as Fisher kind of picked his way into the end zone. Caden Mitchell's PAT, and the Cougars led 7-0. Your instant replays presented by Ada Nissan, a great place to buy your next vehicle. Ada Nissan here in Ada, Oklahoma. Ardmore got the football again, had to punt on their second possession, but Ada fumbled the punt. Ardmore got the ball and ran 2 plays. On the second play of the drive, Deontay Lindsay, who had 2 picks last week, found the football again on the defensive side. Turned it over 4 times last week, forced 5, but that's just a miscue in the punt game. Miller under center, man in motion, takes it, going to try his first pass, throws it out in the flat, intercepted! Deontay Lindsay is third of the year! Deontay stayed disciplined, picked it off. Cougars. Trey, not only a great pick there, but Deontay reading the quarterback, great feat to drop in coverage and with his length, reached up and made the pick.
Give credit to the defensive coaches there, too. They obviously knew that play was there, and Deontay was coached up really good and executed the way he was supposed to.
Well, Deontay set up the next Cougar drive. Deontay finished the next Cougar drive from the right hand of Brock Boyles. Brennan Riddle sniffer on the right. They're going to throw an out pattern. Deontay catches it. 18, 15, 10, 5. Hello, end zone. That little hurdle move at the end for Deontay Lindsay.
Just like he dreamed it.
Oh, that's a great catch and run. I mean, he showed his speed there, got to the pylon. He sniffed the end zone. Extra point by Caden Mitchell, and the Cougars were up top 14-0. Ardmore turned it over on downs. Then the Cougars had a drive going with an interception on a deflected ball, gave the ball to Ardmore. Cougar defense, though, forced a punt after Ardmore was stuffed back in their own territory at their 8-yard line. And LaKeven Richard was set up to return the punt in Ardmore territory at the 42-yard line. Got a low kick, and LaKeven got down the field.
Keevan back again.
He's at the 42-yard line in Ardmore territory. Line drive kick, 42-yard line. LaKeven coming right, 35, 30, 25, 20, cuts back, 15, darts inside, 10, 9, spins. Oh, the Cougars have a... Sophomore LaKeven Richardson showing his speed, special teams tray, setting up the next play, a Cougar touchdown, but LaKeven a beautiful return and got it on the run, headed up down the sideline. So he set up,
finish it off, cuz.
The 20 seconds to play in the quarter, Ada only took 6 seconds to get in the end zone. As Trey said, Cousin Karan off 10. How about that? Boyle's the quarterback. Karan running left, trying to get outside, showing speed. 10, 5, pylon, spins, touchdown! Drew a little flag from the official as he was tripped up and kind of somersaulted in the end zone. Karan in this game has showed his package a little bit on that play. It was a play in the first quarter, and that play there, the quick feet to get to the edge, and then getting his shoulder pads, turning north and south, and got it in the end zone. Extra point was no good because the personal foul penalty was a 35-yard extra point that just came up a little bit short and left by Mitchell. Ada 20, Ardmore nothing at halftime. Your first half replays brought to you by Ada Nissan. We'll take a break, come back. Trey Kinley had your first half numbers dominated by your Cougars. Cougar football tonight, a presentation of the Chickasaw Nation. Welcome back. Coisto Stadium, Norris Field, 20-0. Ada leads at halftime. Get a little glimpse of the Ada band down below. Give a listen for just a moment before we go to your first half stats. Ada band does a great job, Trey, year in and year out. And our former colleague Brent Smith would, I think, played a little music in that band at one time.
Hey, they were here before anybody. You get here we get here at 5 o'clock. They're already out there, and they've got their instructions coming from the man in the stands. They got a real good explanation tonight that they needed to drink water.
I heard that. Let's give it a listen for about 30 seconds before we do your stats. Ada Cougar marching band doing a great job. Then again, they work hard getting ready for these halftime shows, and they'll be here all the month of September. 4 consecutive home games. Ada leads 20-0 at halftime against their rival, the Ardmore Tigers, his 100th meeting. Trey Kinley has your first half numbers.
I'll do Ardmore's first. They had 4 first downs, 22 rushes for 29 yards, one of 3 passing for 11 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception, 4 penalties for 30 yards. Ada, team-wise, 9 first downs, 19 rushes for 126 yards, still a little over 6 a carry, 2 receptions for 29 yards, had a couple drops that would have really inflated that number. Brock, 2 of 6, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, 5 penalties for 35 yards. Individually for Ardmore, Singleton had 7 carries for 18 yards. Haskins 2 for 7. Antonio Taylor 1 for 2. Kadryan Miller 4 for 2. And then had 8 other carries that netted 0 yards. Not real sure who they were. Kadryan Miller 1 of 3 for 11 with no touchdowns and a pick. That 1 catch was by Jackson Hurt. Individually for Ada, rushing, Xander 4 for 50, 12.5 yards a carry. Karan Richardson 6 for 43, a little over 7 a carry. Brock Boyles 3 for 12, 4 a carry. Colton Cartlock 2 for 10. Fisher Marr 2 for 7 and a touchdown. Karan had the touchdown as well. And the Keeves got 2 for 4. Passing, Brock 2 of 6 for 29 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Receiving, Deontay Lindsay had the 22-yard touchdown, and Case Stefford had a 7-yard catch there in the second quarter.
First half stats here from Coy Isto Stadium. Trey, the younger guys were in action earlier this week. We've got the 7th, 8th, 9th, freshman, JV, all I think in action. And you got the Monday game was pretty successful, I think.
28-14, JV wins at Tecumseh.
28-14, JV at Tecumseh on Monday. 7th grade Cougs lost to McAllister 40-14. Appreciate Cody Nall getting me these results. They did have a 40-yard touchdown run by quarterback Reese Klaus, 60-yard run by Isaiah Whitebird in the game as well, and a 2-point conversion run by Ronan Cody in the contest. 8th grade Cougars lost to McAllister on last night 49-14. Got a 40-yard touchdown run by Rhett Klaus, quarterback, 2-point conversion run by Rhett as well, and a 20-yard run by fullback Micaiah Bear in the contest for the Cougar 8th grade football team. Appreciate the report on them, and we'll have more as we move through the season on the young Cougars as they will be playing a full, they'll play 6-7 games somewhere in that neighborhood. Got a schedule we'll pop out and tell you about that as we move through our broadcast. But again, they'll be in action again next week as well. Welcome back to the Coy Isto Stadium. 20-0. Ada leads Ardmore, about 5 minutes away from the start of the second half. And the Mick Cowan trivia question. And
finally did it. I stumped him.
You stumped the chump. The chumps.
Note, anybody out there that texted, I did not call you chumps. That came from the voice, not the noise. So I'm going to give Doc Wadley was 3-2, 600. These are all the coaches with a winning record. Elvin George and Craig McBroom both 13-7-1 for 619. Gary McBroom was 3-1, so 750. The only person that is undefeated against Ardmore, actually, Kenny, lost to Ardmore. In 1922, Ardmore beat Ada 30-6. But it was found out later that year that Ardmore played a guy named Andy Anderson. No offense if anybody's listening. Don't know why he was ineligible, but he was ruled ineligible. And Ardmore had to forfeit all the games that he played in. He played in the Ada game and scored a touchdown. So, officially, And this is why I've said 49, 48, and 2. Did some research this week, digging through mixed stuff, and found out this anomaly. Raymond Cox in 1922 gets credit for a win, and that was his only year to coach the Ada Cougars against the Ardmore Tigers, so he is 1-0.
So the trivia question, lost the game by 24, but was 1-0 against Ardmore.
Yep, went 8-1 that year. Ardmore had to forfeit several games. I think it was 7 or 8. But the funny story on this is Mick there's a note in his soft copy of his book that he gave me down at the bottom. It's still, the 100-year book says that was a loss. But there's a note in the bottom in his book, and I just searched for Ardmore and read through it. And he was doing research for the history of Ada boys and girls basketball. And I believe that came out sometime after the 100-year book, so I'm going to say early 20-teens. And he found an article in the Ada Evening News that talked about this game. So the official record is 50, 47, and 2, even though Ardmore on the scoreboard has won 48 games.
You know, for everybody who texts in with the wrong answer, I think you're all winners. Trey, you guys...
You already called them chumps.
Well, after hearing that story, I think they should win.
I agree.
That's a great story.
I'm the one that had to eat crow because I've been saying the record's 49, 48, and 2, and I see 50, 47, and I'm like, wait a minute.
That's a great story over 100 years ago.
And that's a credit to Mick Cowan more than anything. Obviously, he found it after the 100-year book, but noted it down, and that's one thing I want to tell all the people listening. If we say something that's off or something wrong, please let us know. You have my number on the screen or TreyKinley@gmail.com. I don't care if I'm wrong. I mean, I'll eat crow all day long. I just want to get it right.
Yep.
And pass it on to the next person. And that's what Mick did. It's such a great job doing.
So much great history here at Ada.
Yeah.
And we all want it to be correct. And
what I say, that book is now 1,700 pages long.
Yeah.
462,000 words.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I've got a copy of the documents of that. It's unbelievable. Mick Cowan, what a legend.
Raymond Cox, what a legend.
Yeah.
Undefeated against Ardmore. 1922.
Ada trying to win their second straight against Ardmore. You know, 3 of the last 4 games in this series have been shutouts. 2 by Ardmore, 1 by Ada. Then Ada won last year 35-18. Ada's trying to make it 4 of the last 5. They can hold Ardmore in the second half.
Another little nugget. If this holds, this will be the 27th shutout in 100 games.
Wow.
I think Ada's been shut out, 15 times. Ardmore's been shut out 11. So 26 of the 99 ended up with a shutout.
Cougars on top 20-0. Cougar coaching staff doing a great job getting their clubs ready. Brad Osteen, Colby Shamley, Wade Boyles, Nathan McCurley, Blake Hollenbeck, Dalton Stafford, Michael Barnes, Zach Abbott. The trainer is Spencer Todd. Got a lot of support staff as well we'll get to later, but that coaching staff just doing
– Yeah, we got 6 student trainers this year, and we'll get there. I know Ella Billingsley's one of the seniors and has done it all 4 years, but her sister's doing it, and I'll get the names of the others before we are done, said and done this year. They do a great job. You see them down there in their white shirts carrying the water bottles. That's needed on a night like this.
Really is. LaKeevan Richardson, Kamari Richardson, the deep 2 for Ada. Ardmore will kick off to start the second half. Ada won the first half toss, deferred. There's a kick deep. Going to be returnable from the 10. LaKeevan coming left, 15, 20, 25. He's got a lot of real estate. 40, needs one block, cuts inside 50, 45, 40, short tackle, 33-yard line.
Got yellow on the field. I think we're going to have a hold. I think it was a good block, but held on a little bit too long.
57-yard return from his own 10 to the Ardmore 33-yard line and got short tackled at the 33. Probably going to come back.
A little bit.
So 57-yard return to the Ardmore 33.
31, Kenny. They marked him all the way down to 31.
So that's a 59-yard return. And they're probably going to mark, 10 back from there if it's a hold.
It was almost right there, too.
As he was just a step away.
So the hold was at the 33, so it'll go back to the 43.
At the 11:48 mark. So Ada in Ardmore territory to start the second half. LaKeven Richardson, 2 big returns, Trey, showing
that's why they're leaving him out there. He dropped one last week. We were able to recover it. The one this week, like you said, when it happened, probably should have just tried to fall on it. But that's why he's back there.
He's electric. Cougars will break the huddle in front of offensive coordinator and head coach Brad Osteen on the near side. Will set the offensive line for you. Dawson Matthews, Isaiah Hayden, Bakir Sanusi, Kel Fuller, Will Johnson, left to right across the front for Ada. Brock Boyle's the quarterback. Xander Rhines will be the setback. Brennan Riddle in there to slot. Deontay Lindsay coming wide right. Coffey's the tight end. And you got on the wide side of the field, is that LaKeven Richardson? It is. Over there wide left. Shotgun formation. Rhines off the hip of Boyles. Man in motion's Richardson.
Little bubble pass.
It is. LaKeven at the 49, 45. Cuts it up inside 40.
Good block,
back to the
Brennan
boundary
Riddle.
at the 35. Riddle downfield blocking. Deontay Lindsay also down there. So a bubble pass for 13.
Let's see if that was a pass or a run, Kenny. Because he kind of threw it backwards a little bit, or straight. So let's see if it was a backwards.
Actually, 7 yards. I was marking it from the place where he actually caught it. They're going to mark it just short of the 35, and actually going to extend it to about an 8-yard pickup.
Nope, it was right down the line, so we're going to call it a forward pass.
So 8 on the completion. Ball just about a nose short of the 35. 2nd and 2 for Ada. Opening minute, third quarter. 20-0 Cougars. Boyles, quick pitch to Rhines. Lots of room. 35-30, 25-20. End zone is in his future as he cuts up and then gets drugged down. Oh, he had one man try to cut it up inside, and Xander Rhines. I mean, there was nobody out there, Trey, as he took the quick pitch on the edge and got a flag that's going to bring it back. Unfortunately, I believe.
Laundry down to the 13, Kenny.
Laundry at the 27. Got down to the 8-yard line, inside the 10 on the far side. So he got a 27-yard run, but Laundry back behind the play.
A hold there on the edge.
Well, there was a lot of green out there. There's no Ardmore player on the edge when Rhines took that pitch. Chop block. So a chop block's going to deny a 27-yard run, Trey, and move it backwards. It's a spot penalty.
I think it's still going to be
second down at the 42. So second down and 9 on the chop block. So Ada's had big plays. That one's wiped out. From the 42, Karan Richardson in the game. He's off the hip of Boyles to the right. Or make it Carlock. Carlock going to run behind the block of Karan. 35 and the offensive line out there. And Carlock lunging forward, showed great strength. And finally wrestled out of bounds late at the 28-yard line. Colton Carlock, Trey showing some strength on that run of 14 yards. Or 13 yards to the Ardmore 29-yard line and Ada first down.
Yeah, that was a really good job of Colton keeping his feet running.
Cougar, talking to Brad Osteen in the offseason, and he knew the offensive line would be bigger and better and more experienced, but he said the quarterback run game is going to be big for us next year. This is in the offseason. It gives you an extra blocker. That time Karan was that extra blocker, and to try to outnumber the teams. Quick pitch, Karan, got a hold in the backfield. Karan making some guys miss inside the 20, got almost 10 more, but I think they're going to get the Cougar, maybe Coffee back here for a hold back at the 31-yard line.
Sometimes when there's a lot of room, there's a reason for it.
So 2 large penalties on this drive by Ada, leading Ardmore by 20. That'll move the football back to the 40-yard line. So an 11-yard penalty. And it's going to be first down and 21. Ada needs to reach the 19, moving north to south. 10:08 to play third quarter, on top by 20. Empty set for Carlock. Takes the snap inside, reverse. Coming right, 30, 25. Xander just set up in the slot to the left. Kind of an inside handoff coming left to right. Again, a lot of misdirection, getting their speed guys to the corner. And the Cougars get a nice gain to the 26, 14 for Xander.
We're going to have a 75-yard drive on a 40-yard field, Kenny.
They're just picking large chunks right now, Trey. The only thing that's kept them out of the end zone has been penalties. Second down, out of the gun, Brock. Hands to Xander, running left, speed to the corner. 25 just outrunning the secondary player and is rushed out of bounds to the 18.
That's when you're glad to see Xander get up, getting drugged down from behind. It was not a horse collar. He just tackled him from behind the way he landed.
That was 20, Peyton Smith, 5'11", 165, defensive back. And Xander just outran him to the edge. Going to make just short of the first down.
3rd and 1 from the
20?
20 is what we got to give him, unfortunately. But if we score from here, it's a 20-yard touchdown from less than 20.
You're the stat man.
I just make stuff up like Raymond Cox.
Strong side to left side with Coffey and Marr. They run it that way with Richardson. Cuts
move.
Up inside, powers his way inside the 5-yard line. Just short of the 5, actually. Again, I love the vision of Karan. He got a great surge by the offensive line. Here comes the jumbo package.
Had a little stutter there in the backfield or right at the hole, and allowed him to get all the way down to the 8-yard line.
Gain of 13. Ball resting between the 7 and the 8. They'll mark it up officially at the 7 as the center moves the ball forward just a tad. Fisher on the direct snap.
Good penetration.
Oh, but he broke the tackle. Fisher, touchdown, Ada. Oh, my. Fisher Moore had 2 guys on him at least in the backfield, and the big linebacker turned running back, just spun off of him, Trey, and would not be denied the end zone. His 2nd touchdown of the night, his 3rd of the season, as a Cougar big package that time came in and barreled their way for the end zone, a 7-yard touchdown.
I've said he doesn't go backward much, and they had a chance to get him there, but he showed some elusiveness, kept his feet moving, spun, and finished it off.
7-yard touchdown. Caden Mitchell off the Stafford hold is up and good.
8 officially. He was not to the 7.
27-0 on the extra point by Caden Mitchell. And the Cougars dominating Ardmore. 8:54 to play 3rd quarter. This is Cougar football, a presentation of the Chickasaw Nation. 27-0 Ada. That drive only took 2 minutes and 54 seconds, Trey. And would have been in the end zone quicker. Some penalties set them back, but Ada just ran the ball at will into the end zone.
Yeah, what was the drive there, Kenny? I'm going to tell you how many yards we had.
We got 6 plays, 43 yards.
Nope, we had 50. We had 61 yards on the drive.
Wow. They overcame those penalties. And actually, it might have been 8 plays. I got to figure out. They had 2 penalties that usually don't count as plays, but they gained yardage on those plays.
I have 5 rushes and 1 pass, so 6 plays is what I have.
We'll keep it at that then. 27-0 Ada. After the 8-minute, 54-second drive, Caden Mitchell will put his foot into it. High kick, fair caught, 28-yard line on the far side of Coy Easto Stadium in Norris Field. Young man over there making the fair catch was Jay Sean Payne, 5'9", 180 wide receiver. So Ada took the opening kickoff for the second half and quickly put an exclamation point probably on this game with that drive that did it all on the ground. But, they did it with a lot of misdirection, a lot of jet motion, just really outnumbering Ardmore on the edge, getting some great blocking by that offensive line.
Yeah, the O-line, I assume, is going to grade out a little bit better, even with the penalties.
Ardmore will start 1st and 10. They're going to hand it off to Singleton. He's got a little room over the right side into the Ada secondary across the 35 to the 36-yard line.
Singleton on the carry, and he's tackled by number 11, Kamari Richardson, along with number 7, J.D.
J.D. Dugan in the game.
Yep, J.D. and Richardson on the tackle. J.D. a junior defensive back.
Second down and 3.
Set the Ada defense for you as we start defensive possession of the second half.
Looks like the starters out there. No, I take that back. You got Eli Justice and Karan in at the outside backers.
Singleton again wrapped up. I saw a 5 in there. I saw Will Johnson,
Will
but somebody
Johnson, I assume George.
Right before Will in there as well was 52 Sanusi, who wrapped him up. George is he plays with a lot of emotion.
Yep. And it's not just in football.
So it's going to be 3rd and 2 for Ardmore from their own 36. 7:55 to play in the 3rd quarter. Cougars on top, 27-0.
Gave him a yard there.
The quarterback for the Ardmore Tigers, again, they're freshmen. Kadrian Miller, 5'10", 165. He's played the whole way at quarterback. They got that flexible offense, a single receiver in the slot to the right. Miller looking for the tight end, throws it, intercepted.
Fisher.
The Cougars, Fisher at the 41. Well, they went to the well one too many times on that play. At the 41, Marr picks it off.
He was just sitting there waiting on that. That was a bait pick. He was just waiting on him to throw it.
They love that play, and they were successful a couple times. Completed one of them, had it open one more time, and a penalty called it back. And that time they just waiting on it. Ada, another pick. What an opportunistic defense. That's their second interception of the game.
Yep, we're 2-1 on turnovers, I believe. Is that right?
We've actually turned it twice.
Yeah, 2-2.
The punt and the interception. So Ada takes over 7:31 mark in plus territory for the second time.
Timeout, Ardmore.
We'll take one, too. Ada in control over Ardmore. 7:31 to play third quarter. Ada 27. Ardmore zip. This is Cougar Football. Tonight's broadcast, a presentation of the Chickasaw Nation. Cougars getting close to being 2-0. Playing here in week 1, a week 0 win, and a real tussle at Durant last week, 14-7, playing their second consecutive 5A opponent. Will play their third consecutive 5A opponent next week. Team from just east of here.
Suburb of Krebs.
Cougars ranked 11th, just out of the top 10 by some high school rankings this year. Class 4A.
2 in our district.
Yep.
Is anybody else in our district?
No, Hilldale was just outside the top 10 as well. Hilldale's top 10 in a few of the maybe the max preps, or maybe one of the
Gotcha.
rankings. Yep. All right, Ada first down, setting up shop. First play of this drive. Xander coming right, trying to get to the edge. 40, 35, 30. Ducks his shoulder, knocked out of bounds, but a big gain for Xander. And he gets up excited. Xander Rhines. Love that young man. He's really spoke well at the luncheon yesterday. And, of course,
the luncheon. Speaking of luncheons, every Thursday, 12 o'clock sharp, down at the football building, we have a luncheon. Coach talks about the previous week a little bit, talk about the upcoming week, and then have a couple seniors there, a couple players. Welcome to join us.
Sanusi gets over the football. Boyles in the shotgun. Rhines off his right hip. Twins to the left. Xander coming off tackles. Now turns it up outside. Reverses his field. Looking for space. Can't find it this time. Good pursuit by Ardmore. That time they played that well. A big defensive lineman out there getting off the bottom. Derek Neely, a 6'1", 240 lineman, made sure Xander didn't get his field reversed. It'll be second down for Ada. Maybe a short loss, maybe a half yard.
Nope. No game.
I'm done arguing with the statistician. Second down and 10. 6:50 to play in the third.
Out right. Kelton Stipe in at the F, the fullback position.
Boyles turns, gives to Caron. 25, 20. Boy, he was downfield before he was touched.
Yep.
The line, they're just doing a great job right now.
Wonder if they'll measure this.
J.B. Coyle in there that time on the offensive side, Trey.
Yeah, right guard.
Yep.
Result of the play is another
10-yard run by Caron. Rhines and Caron having a day behind that offensive line against Ardmore. Deontay Lindsay, who has an interception and a touchdown reception, goes wide to the left.
Colin Christian going to be on the right.
He'll be in the slot. Riddle and Moore lined up, power right.
That's Stipe.
There's Stipe, yep, 30, excuse me.
Move a little bit early, I guess.
False start against Ada will move it back to the 23. A few penalties tonight against Ada. Last week, they only had 9 first downs. And penalties, 10 penalties for 92 yards a week ago.
We actually, officially, Kenny would have had 14. I did not put in the offsetting ones, so I don't. Just because I get behind doing that. We got 9 tonight for 75. 14 first downs.
36 rush yards a week ago and well above that in this game.
$1.99. Next one will put us over the 200 mark.
Christian in motion. Richardson going to keep it. 20. LeKeven, 15, 10, 5. Oh, baby, touchdown! Oh, what feet, what speed. Patience paid off. End zone for LeKeven Richardson. On the direct snap, 23 yards later, pay dirt. Cougars lead at 33-0.
Kevin, the play's supposed to go left. What do you do? Go, go, go. Athletes can do that, Kenny.
Boy, just found space, and again, great blocking for that by the offensive line.
Yeah, I don't know who was out here on the right side. Receiver did a good job not getting a hold call, but got in the way.
Extra point off the Morris snap. Stafford hold. Mitchell kick. Splits the irons. 34-0 Ada. 5:50 to play. Quarter number 3. The Cougars, a dominant performance. Cougar football, a presentation of the Chickasaw Nation. 34-0 Ada. 2 touchdowns quickly here in the third quarter, and this game is 100th meeting, going to easily go to the Ada Cougars tonight, Trey Kinley, as LaKeven Richardson's had a big night, big kickoff return, big punt return, took that direct snap that time and just kind of picked his way. And then once he found this, some space, it was speed into the end zone.
Yeah, Kenny, they just played a lot better this week. Just like you don't want to get too down on an ugly game last week, you don't want to get too high on a good game this week. I will say the last time the score was this lopsided in Ada's favor was a 42-14 win back in '96, the last time they won the state championship.
35-18 last year. Had a little bit bigger lead than that. Ardmore got a couple touchdowns in the second half. High kick by Mitchell, fielded at the 14.
I believe that was Tyler. Yep.
Coming right. Yep, Tyler Walker, up to the 31-yard line. 17-yard return by Holsteed up to the 31, where Ardmore will take over. So Tyler Walker in the game doing the kicking honors. 5:39 to play. Ardmore represents, of course, Class 5A. Cougars in 4A District 4 with Ada, Poto, Stilwell, Medill, Hilldale, Fort Gibson, Salisaw, and Broken Bow. Salisaw, Broken Bow, Medill, and Fort Gibson all lost in Week 0. Ada and Poto were winners. Hilldale and Stilwell opening up tonight. Quick pitch coming left. Good pursuit.
Good job there by McGilbray.
Is that
McGilbray, 27, and Deontay.
Laster on the carry. Yeah, Braden McGilgray, that's a great open field tackle as Laster is trying to get to the corner. He's cramping up a little bit. Got to the 34-yard line. He got 3.
I thought he was going to get more than that, Kenny.
Yeah, he had some space, and McGilbray closed it in a hurry. Good to see the young man make a sure tackle, just a sophomore. Of course, his Ada sophomore class has won a lot of football games. And you hear a lot of those sophomore names mentioned throughout our broadcast. And so it'll be 2nd down and 7 for Ardmore, 5:22 to play. Give you an update on what's going on as far as Cougar football. Next week, of course, McAllister comes to town. That's a 7:30 kickoff, big game. They're top 6, I think, in 5A.
Before that game, Kenny, the Ada boys basketball and Ada girls golf are having a grill the buffaloes. We got some buffalo Wagyu burgers and some beef ones if you don't want to eat the buffalo. But that'll be in the north end of the parking lot here. There's an organization basically every week. If you want to come out 5 o'clock-ish, you can feed the family. Normally most of them are about $10 a piece. Helps support all the different programs and get a good meal and talk with fellow Cougar fans.
Game kickoff is 7:30. We'll be on the air at KADARadio.net and Cool 99.3 as well. And then a week off in 2 weeks. And then the district opener.
Is it against Hilldale? No, it's Salisaw.
Salisaw. Hilldale's the second home game. We'll play. So there's 3 more home games in succession here in September before our first district road game the first week, Friday in October.
At Medill.
Yeah, a little short trip to play the Wildcats. They lost a tough one last week to Kingston, 35-34. Their big rivalry in their opener.
Kenny, I'm afraid that may be a little bit more in a cramp.
Yep. Slow getting up. And now he's up, and he's really having some help off the field. I hate to see any young man go down with any injury.
Okay.
He'll come off on the Ardmore sideline with Ada on top by 34. Going to set the Ada defense for you. You've got J.D. Dugan at a defensive back, Deontay Lindsay at a corner, Chase Bailey, big interception last week in the contest, Colin Christian at the left corner, Brennan Riddle, Fisher Marr, Kelton Stipe, Xander Rhines, backers.
Kel Fuller.
Yeah, Kel Fuller. And there's a Stipe getting in to grab Singleton around the legs at the 35-yard line. I think it was Singleton. Six. Nope. It was Haskins. Boy, I like Stipe. He's in there again on the play. Just got a nose for the football, Trey.
Yeah, he does.
3rd down for Ardmore and 6. Ada's defense. Looking back, Ardmore has not been on the Ada side of the field. I'll look back, just a handful of snaps.
They had that one drive that they lost it on downs at around the 25-30.
Twin receivers, one left, one right. Taylor in motion. Counterplay coming back left and false start.
Yeah, the guy that got the ball kind of rocked backwards a little bit, number 20.
That's going to move Ardmore.
Nope, called us for offsides.
Yep. So offsides against the Cougars. They'll give them be short of the 1st down. Be 3rd down and a yard now.
When that was called, Kenny, I assume we lined up in the neutral zone.
Got Dawson Matthews, the right defensive end. That Ashton over the ball, Ashton Rowell.
Yep.
I think that's right. And get a number on the left side in just a moment. Kind of far side of the field, set that defensive line.
Ends in the 3. Oh, that's Delaware. Samuel Jordan.
Yeah, good to see Jordan in the ball game. Yeah, they dropped the snap, and the Cougars.
Delaware's
got the quarterback behind the line of scrimmage. Rip Miller down as Colin Christian picked up a late fumble that came after the quarterback went down. But, yeah, Miller on 3rd and 1 could not get a positive play. Bobbled the snap, and Delaware made them pay. See if Ardmore goes for it. Probably 4th and 2 from their own 39. We play inside the 4-minute mark of the 3rd quarter. Ada 34-0. They led 20-0 at halftime. Have dominated the Ardmore Tigers tonight. Kadrian Miller under center on 4th and 2. Man in motion. Miller going to keep it off the right side.
Delaware.
Oh, man,
what a spot.
The far side official gave him a great spot. Up across the 41 to the 42. It's going to be a 1st down.
He's got to leave the game, though, Kenny. His helmet came off. Or he should.
Quarterback?
Yep. Yeah, that was a very fortuitous spot.
Yep. McGilbray also in on the tackle. Checking in for Ada. J.B. Coyle back in. Ashton Rowell comes out.
Their backup quarterback is a sophomore, but what's his number? 9, Kenny, maybe? Yep.
Loftus.
Yep.
6', 170. Under center. They do not take a snap from the gun. Man in motion takes a quick pitch out of the flex bone and chased down behind the line of scrimmage. Kamari Richardson got Peyton Smith in the backfield.
There as well.
They tried to get Smith to the edge on that quick pitch after they set him in motion. Got him. That's designed to get the fullback at.
Your D-line and your backers did an excellent job there, Kenny. He had nowhere to cut up field. They filled all the holes, and Kamari came up and made the tackle.
Kelton Stipe, little ginger as he comes off the field. Ball at the 39-yard line in Ardmore territory. 2nd and 13. Tigers in their
Eli and Karan at the outside backers.
White uniform, man in motion again. They give it to the fullback, and the Cougars just stuff it.
George.
Again, defensive line just kept the offensive line off the backers. You hear the coaching staff talk about that. Got a comment on that, Trey. You hear the coaches talk about that all the time. And if you watch that play right there, prime example, the offensive line was not close to the backers who came up and made the play.
Yeah, to keep the backers clean, your defense is going to execute. And when you've got 3 guys going against 5 and they're still keeping the backers clean, and you also, when I say 3, you've also got your star and your jack that are also occupying a backer or a lineman there. And so, but if you keep it, this defense, if you'll keep your middle linebackers clean, that's why Fisher and George had 15 tackles apiece last week. That's what Teddy Lehman talked about at the banquet, telling Dan Cody, hey, I got all my tackles because you were crashing in and occupying.
Timeout on the field, $1:58 to play in the 3rd quarter. The Ada Cougars, large and in charge. 34-0 Cougar football tonight, a presentation of the Chickasaw Nation. Back to Coy Easto Stadium. Sure appreciate you tuning in to Cougar football, streaming at kadaradio.net. On your radio dial, Carl Bray in studio at 99.3. Cougar football presented by Vision Bank, Chickasaw Travel Stop, Simmons Bank, Laser Zone Family Fun Center, Carter County Dodge Hyundai, Don Carpenter State Farm Insurance, Vision Bank, and Fenton Ford. Ardmore let the clock run down that time, and then called a timeout.
Kenny, I haven't seen a radio dial in quite some time. I think you need to update that.
Well, you talked about my age back to the 20s.
That's a hold.
Miller running the option. Oh, he got
Kelton.
popped. Skelton Stipe. How about that? Woo. He comes off excited. Has lowered the boom on the quarterback at the 40-yard line. No gain.
Good credit here to Brendan Riddle. He got held a little bit in the backfield, but still was able to pursue and push it wider. And what did that do? It lets the middle backer get in and lower the boom.
Ardmore will punt again. They've been in that formation a lot. LaKeevan Richardson, electric, waits at his 27. Cougars a man short. Run Rhines onto the field late.
I guess if there's somebody you want running on, it's probably Xander.
Low kick, going to one hop.
Yep,
Keevan gets
smart.
away from it. Going to roll dead at about the 13-yard line. I think that was Cohee on the kick.
Anytime you got a knuckler coming like that, Kenny, it's best to get away. He could have picked. The only thing I would say to Keeve there is watch that first bounce. If it comes up high, even if you're getting it and going down, you save 15, 20 yards. But in a situation like this, he wasn't really in position to field it after the first bounce, so just let it go.
43 yards, no return. Ada takes over at their own 13-yard line. They've had two possessions here in this third quarter. Both resulted in touchdowns, a 6-play 43-yard drive, a 4-play 38-yard drive. Has not taken them long to find pay dirt.
Kenny, there was a 38-0 back in 1937. 39-6 in 58. Yeah, right now, 38-0 is biggest win ever for Ada.
Wow. Got four receivers deployed, 3 right, 1 left. Boyle's going to hand it off to Karan up the middle. Boy, great blocking, breaks the tackle into the secondary, and he came loose at the 23-yard line as Karan went down, and I think Ardmore may have got it. And Ardmore did get it. So Karan dropped the football after a 10-yard pickup trade and went backwards, and Ardmore fell on it.
Where did he fumble that?
23-yard line. So ball security, that's something the Cougars will have to continue to work on. So recovered by Ardmore. Didn't see who got off the bottom for Ardmore. So with 55 seconds to play, Ardmore takes over at the Ada. Is that the 20-yard line?
Yeah, that's definitely the deepest they've been.
After the Cougar miscue, their third of the game. Taylor in motion. They hand it off to the fullback Singleton, and he spins loose to the tackle. They had him at the line of scrimmage, spinning.
Yeah, Fisher and looks like Will Johnson got in there.
Going to mark the football at about the 18-yard line, 17. Brendan Riddle in the contest for the Cougars. As Ada trying to preserve the shutout, have dropped the football. The third turnover of the game has given Ardmore great field position, but 25 seconds to play in the third quarter, and Ada on top by 34. Trying to shut out Ardmore.
Probably the last play of the third quarter.
That is not Miller at quarterback. That's still the backup quarterback. They hand it off again to Singleton. That's Loftus. And Singleton got a yard.
Looks like Cord Coffee getting up off the bottom.
Quarter comes to a close. 3 in the books. Ada 34, Ardmore nothing. Cougar football tonight, a presentation of the Chickasaw Nation. Look at that, my friends. Mason Lee on camera. I'm going to get a picture of it here.
Yeah, but I told him to get it, Kenny. Give me a little bit of credit.
Trey Kinley recognized the blood moon. Beautiful over the east bleachers at Coy East-O Stadium. And the Cougars have kind of made a bloodbath of the game. 34-0 leading Ardmore. Ardmore threatening after an Ada fumble, though, deep in their own territory, trying to preserve the shutout. We start the fourth quarter, a third quarter dominated by Ada. 2 touchdown drives, and then had a 10-yard run, and then Richards and Caron dropped the football and stopped that drive. But now Ardmore sets up from the 8 of 16. They need to reach the 10 for a first down. It's 3rd and 6.
Got to think it's 4-down territory.
They bring Halstead wide to the near side of the field. Quarterback keep, and they will not get the first down. They run the quarterback.
Fisher, JB.
Loftus.
Another one there is Will Johnson. Little ginger getting up.
So Loftus got from the 16 to the 14. It's 4th down. They've got to reach the 10. 4th and 4.
So far, Ada doing a really good job on the year on these 4th down plays.
Out of the flex. They throw it over the middle. Oh, almost intercepted. Got a false start. Carlock trying to jump that quick pass to the tight end. And if it's a false start, but if Carlock gets that football,
see ya.
He's gone. I mean, the offense they haven't hardly moved. It's such a quick pass.
I like that play. Matter of fact, we ran that a couple times last week with Cord.
Cord got a touchdown on
Yep.
similar play. 18-yard touchdown pass from Boyles.
Little pop pass.
And
Tim Tebow-esque.
Jackson Hurts, big guy, 5'10", 195. Nice target out there. Senior tight end.
They've actually split him out some too, Kenny, so he must have a little bit of speed.
4th and 9. Loftus, the quarterback. Taylor in motion. Loftus back to pass. Throws. Intercepted.
4.
25-30, 35-40.
Good job,
Here you
Xander.
go. To the house, Deontay. Hello, end zone. Deontay Lindsay, his 4th interception of the year. That one goes roughly 90 yards. We'll set the replay. But Deontay, the pick, and the Cougars defense in the score column again. Oh, my. Deontay Lindsay. When he caught that one, you saw it, Trey, from up here. It was just a matter of getting the Jets going.
Steve Dean, look out. Deontay's got 4 in 2 games. That's on pace for 20.
What'd Steve have?
I think he had 16. I could be wrong.
Let's get the exact mark of that. 91 yards, I'm thinking, on the return by Deontay.
Yeah, I think it was a little deeper than the 10. I got it right here.
Mitchell's PAT is good. We'll keep it right here at the 10:51
Right
mark.
at 90.
90-yard touchdown for Deontay Lindsay. What a start to his season.
Hey, great job by Xander Rhines, too. Nobody was going to catch Deontay, but Xander didn't count on that, and he made a block out here at the 50, and I'm pretty sure he was playing the star on the far side of the field. Yeah, he was. Great job by Xander. Just gets in the way of 9, who wanted no part of Xander and just kind of pulled away. J.D. Dugan also there running. Xander does his swimming into the end zone.
What a big-time play. That's a 90-yard interception return by Deontay Lindsay. And again, the Cougars, as the quarterback rolled to the short side of the field, cut the field in half. And if you got that now, you got that replay you can pull up now. We want to wait for the kickoff. If you got it, if you don't, no problem. If you got it, go ahead and play it right away. Wait for the kickoff. Deontay Lindsay, the Ada Nissan instant replay of a Cougar defensive touchdown. Taylor in motion. Loftus back to pass. Throws. Intercepted.
4.
25-30, 35-40.
Good job,
Here you
Xander.
go. To the house, Deontay. Hello, end zone. Deontay Lindsay, his 4th interception of the year. That one goes roughly 90. Dugan was leading the way, too, out there. Deontay.
Well, actually, Deontay was leading the way, but they were drafting him a little bit.
41-0 Ada. Defense gets in the books. Caden Mitchell's kickoff is fair caught. Nope, it was fair caught. I think Arnold he tried to take off running. Ethan Knuckles, 6'1", 150 wide receiver over there. Fair caught it. They're going to mark it for Ardmore at the 28-yard line.
After the fair catch, the Tigers will have it 1st and 10 at the 20.
With 10:49 to play. Now that excites a football team. Well, I've watched Deontay. You know, he had a solid. We talked about his solid season a year ago, but he grew, gained weight, grew several inches, and just maturing as a young man and a football player.
Yep.
4 interceptions in 2 weeks for Lindsey. Quickly, the scouting report will be don't throw his way. Got some substitutions for the Cougars in there.
Yep. Baylor Stonecipher, a freshman, played really well in scrimmage. Love to see him out there. Looks like he's going to exit.
Jumped off sides.
Yep. I'm sure he's first ever varsity snap. I'm sure he's a little bit pumped. That's something that we are going to have to clean up this week. It's a lot easier to coach the players up after a 14-7 win than a 41-0 one, though. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. They've responded well. So we'll get the rest of the Cougar lineup in just a moment. There's a handoff up the middle and spinning off a tackle, getting a first down. I think that's the up back, the fullback. Looks like maybe Singleton on the carry. Kind of the workhorse in there. Cougar lineup, Dawson Matthews in there on the defensive line. Delaware, Samuel Jordan in there as well. Kelton Stipe stays in the game. They give the gain to the 34, or to the 39, for 6 and a first down.
Was that a run, Kenny? I'm sorry, I got behind.
Yep, a run to Singleton, number 8. Cougars also have Kyler Gaddis, sophomore defensive back in the game for the first time. We'll continue to get you updated. Handoff up the middle, little hole to the 50, 45, Cougar territory.
Good pursuit there by Colin.
Kylan Haskins bust loose from his own 39 to the 45, 16-yard pickup.
Hey, let's not give up. Stipe's a little bit ginger. Let's not give up this shutout, boys. Bow your neck for Jake Carroll.
Not a lot of Stipe holding that left foot, ankle, or now he's holding it like he's got a cramp. 45-yard line for Ardmore, 8 of territory, 41-0 Cougars, dominating Ardmore tonight. 9:34 to play in the fourth quarter. Flexbone formation, single setback behind the quarterback who's under center. Loftus handed off, another hole into the Ada secondary.
Will Bailey, and it looks like Kamari. He's going to cramp up again.
Singleton got to the 36-yard line.
Some gaping holes now. Baylor Stonecipher back in. Deontay back in for Kamari.
2nd and 1 for the Tigers. We'll have a full recap in the postgame show, including all the Ada Nissan replays. Had a bevy of highlights tonight.
Eli, and is that Gaddis 13?
Gaddis, yep, Kyler Gaddis. Handed off up the middle. That time the Cougars surge and stop.
George.
Yeah, George kind of slid through from his linebacker position.
Did get the first down, though.
Kel Fuller on the defensive line as well for the Cougars. So they just needed about a half yard and got 1 to the 35. Third first down on this drive for Ardmore with 8:28 to play.
George and Kale in the middle. Gaddis and Justice in at the star and or the Jack and Star, respectively.
Yep. Stonecipher back
in the middle. McGilbray and looks like Bailey in at safety. Christian and Deontay.
Loftus under center, drop the ball. Options left, and George going to run him down from his linebacker position. Just blew that one up as he came over and just leaped at the quarterback and got him down. No gain.
Yeah, the fumbled snap really messes up the rhythm of a flexbone offense.
This is a young Ardmore team. They've had multiple bobbled snaps, false starts.
But the future looks bright. They've got some athletes. I mean, they're playing multiple freshmen and sophomores, kind of like Ada is. So it's don't hang your heads.
Peyton Smith lined up as the flex guy to the right. They're going to hand it off up the middle and breaking a tackle, but then George Maddox made sure his tackle wasn't broke as Haskins got the carry. Kel Fuller, as Trey said, slides down there as well. They'll give him a yard to the 34. Clock running.
34 more of those, and they'll get a touchdown, Kenny.
Yeah. I don't know if we have time for 4 more of those tonight. Ada has dominated this game from the beginning. 37 for the Cougars. Jalen Wortham,
another freshman. Yeah. I think he's got a brother on the team, too.
Just played that last play, comes out for a moment. 3rd down and 9. Ardmore under center with Loftus. Counter play, going back left. Good tackle by Kel Fuller.
Kale's played. I tell you what, Kenny, obviously M&M boys are studs in the middle. But Kel Fuller and Kelton Stipe have played really well there tonight in reserve roles.
And you like that so much, you know, that you can count on those guys because with Fisher going both ways a lot, it gives you some, you got quality guys that can come in like that and make plays and stay rested. 4th down, they need 4. They need to reach the Cougar 25. They're going from north to south. Loftus under center. Got twin receivers. They start a man in motion and stop him.
Here, I'm guessing.
That's Damon Cohee, freshman running back. Another, and Coach Newby a timeout with trip 5s on the board. 5:55 to play in the 4th. 8-41. Ardmore nothing. This is Cougar football tonight, streaming at KADARadio.net, a presentation of the Chickasaw Nation. Trey, it's pretty academic. 5:55 to play, 4th quarter. Cougars dominating 41-0. Now it's just will you preserve the shutout? 4th and 4 by Ardmore. Had a few good runs on this drive at the 8 to 29-yard line. This kind of a lot of second unit defense here, doing a great job. Last several plays.
Say it's about half and half, Kenny. You still cord and Dawson out there on the edge as the action cat. Baylor Stone-Seifert, freshman in the middle. Kyler Gaddis and Eli Justice on the outside backers. You got Kale.
On 4th down, Loftus options right, pitches. Cougars stop him. On 4th and 4, they got Kyler Gaddis up on the hit. Made the stop on Damon Cohee on the option right. They executed the option, but the Cougars stayed disciplined, stayed in their lanes. Cohee got a couple to the 20. Got one to the 28, and it's a turnover on downs.
Can we take 5 minutes off the clock, Kenny? I felt a breeze there. Look at those flags.
I did too.
Blowing in.
That felt beautiful, didn't it? Hey, you like your new air conditioner up here?
I'm cold.
I'm excited that it'll be a heater this winter.
Said me never.
Huh?
That's how we're going to do it, though. We're going to let air blow on me and let that exhaust blow on you. 21, I think Cody Carpenter. Is that right? Chris Carpenter?
Cody Carpenter, freshman running back. That who carried the football?
Yep.
Carpenter right up the middle. Good to see him in the contest. The 32-yard line got 4. Going to set this Ada offense now. Carlock's the quarterback. Carter Colon brings in the play. He'll play wide receiver. Ashton Riles on the right side at a tackle position.
Sanusi's still in.
Matthews still in.
Looks like JB's in at the left or right guard.
Christian, the receiver to the left. Carpenter again running left. Nice strength by Carpenter, dragging a would-be tackler across the 35 to the 36. That time he drugged Jackson Weaver for about an extra 2 or 3 yards.
Yeah, showed good strength there.
3rd down and 2 with 4:23 to play. Gavin Lewis, 6'1", 255, still in there on the defensive line for Ardmore. Most of their starters in on defense. Adrian White, Chase Stewart.
Stipends is in at the X for the Cougars. He's awfully ginger, though.
Yeah, it came off the. Look at that. Looked like he was grabbing his calf when he came off with a cramp.
Yeah, he's maybe a bruise.
Shotgun for Carlock. Fakes the handoff. All kinds of real estate. 45, 50, 45, spinning,
good
43.
Good job staying in bounds there, Colton.
Yeah, great job. Great fake. Kept it to the near boundary. Payne got him at the 43-yard line. 21-yard pickup for Carlock.
Yeah, he's had 2 fakes tonight that were really, really good.
He can be like a magician with that football. I've watched him in practice. Hides it well. They work on that. I mean, folks are really. I mean, they work on that. They really
throws a pretty ball. When he releases it good, he throws a pretty ball left-handed. They always look clean to me for whatever reason. It's like a left-handed golf swing. Makes me so mad. Ken Griffey Jr.'s baseball swing from the left side, maybe the prettiest I've ever seen.
Lindsey and Kamari Richardson go wide right. Carlock in the pistol behind him and turns, hands it off, and
that's Wortham, I believe.
Yep, Wortham dropped the handoff and then picked it up and got stuff behind the line of scrimmage. Kind of hadn't had a lot of snaps together.
No, I'm sure not many at all.
and they lost 6.
Were they out on the 48? Loss of 5. That's what I have.
Yep, I think that's correct. That's what I got. Actually, at 43 was the starting line of scrimmage. So it was Wortham on the carry, number 37.
Cody Carpenter back in.
Pistol formation.
Cord Coffee in at tight end.
Carpenter running off the left tackle. Matthews, a nice edge block.
Good stiff arm there, Cody.
Matthews still manhandling his guy. I was watching Dawson that time away from the play. He stood his guy up and just pushed him about 10 yards downfield, 10 yards away from the play. Finished it.
Cody had a really good stiff arm there. Gained an extra probably 4 yards off of it, down to the 41.
3rd down and 8. We're inside 2 minutes now. Ada's going to, unless something crazy happens, going to have a shutout of Ardmore, leading it by 41. Cologne goes wide right. You got Kamari Richardson to the near side and the slot on the left. And they've been a fumbled snap, and I think
they got it.
Yep, I think Cougars have turned it over for the 4th time, the 2nd consecutive week.
There's a punch. 75 will be ejected from the game.
With 1:38 to play, so an Ada fumble.
That was unnecessary. I'm sure there was some talking going on, but that one was not on Cody. Snap was a little bit high.
So a personal foul against Ada, offsetting again. So Ardmore will take over from their own 42. So the defense will have to do it one more time with $1:38 to play. On top by 41. Wish a speedy recovery to Chauncey Conway, out with a hamstring injury, and also Mr. Isaacs.
Wofford.
Pass downfield. Yeah,
almost got it. JD undercut it just a little bit. It floated up. His eyes got big.
Yeah, both those players may have Wofford, talking about his mom. But
I talked to Owen this week. He's got surgery, I believe, next week, just the ACL. Also talked to cauliflower ear, Jake Bohannon. Had a labrum MRI, I believe it was yesterday, and it had healed. So but not healed correctly. So they're going to go in and scope it and clean it up a little bit.
2nd and 10, quick pitch, running left, 40, 45. Oh, the Cougars chase that down the perimeter.
Colin Christian.
Yeah, Peyton Smith got the quick pitch, and the Cougars
McGilbray
really closed the airspace pretty quick out there, Trey.
Yeah, good job by Will Johnson, too, showing some speed, following him out. Took away any chance for a cutback.
Got a yard. 3rd and 9. We're inside a minute. Cougars will be 51-47-2 all-time against Ardmore in this 100th meeting. Special night here at Coy Easto Stadium.
As it holds, Kenny, it's the most lopsided victory in the history for Ada.
Jalen Wortham playing this left corner out man-to-man coverage. See if they try to throw it out here. What'd they do?
I don't know.
Flag went down. I thought he took a knee.
I think he backed out without a snap.
Loftus, the backup quarterback. False start against Ardmore, moves it back to the 38.
I hope Kadrian is okay. It looked like he lost his helmet and came out of the game and hadn't been back in since then.
32 seconds to play. Good crowd. East Central Tigers will be in this venue on Thursday. Big week next week. Tigers play a Thursday night game, their home opener. And then Ada back in here on Friday night. Under center is Loftus. Turned hands to Singleton. That crosses the 45.
Christian and is that McGilbray, I believe?
That's the last play of the game. They got to the 47-yard line, and that's it. Your Ada Cougars. As Lane Haynes on that last play come off with a lot of energy and excitement. They've shut out the Ardmore Tigers. Ada 41, Ardmore nothing in this 100th meeting between Ada and Ardmore. We'll have your Ada Nissan instant replays and your recaps coming up at the postgame show. This is Cougar Football streaming at KADARadio.net and a presentation to the Chickasaw Nation. Postgame show, Ada Cougar Football. You see Coach Brad Osteen addressing his Cougars down between the 10 and 20-yard line at the north end of Coy-Easto Stadium in Norris Field. A blowout win for Ada tonight, 41-0, 20-0 at halftime, 21-0 in the second half, and just a dominating performance, Trey Kinley, as they came in here against a team that they knew that they execute. They should win the football game, and they did. They executed, and
I expected them to win. I didn't expect them to dominate like they did.
Yeah, 12th shutout for Ada in this series against Ardmore.
Yep, 27th overall.
Largest margin of victory,
I believe.
that we can tell as we go back. If we can tell, a 41-0 Ada win. Let's get to the highlights of the second half, as brought to you by Ada Nissan. Great place to buy your next vehicle, Ada Nissan. Ada won the toss to start the game, deferred, so got the ball to start the second half, leading 20-0. Took the opening kickoff, and LeKeven ran it back to the 43-yard line in Ardmore territory. Cougars went 6 plays, 43 yards. Didn't take them long, just under 3 minutes. And Fisher Marr, who already got in the end zone once tonight, had to break a tackle this time, but did it and found the end zone for the second time. Or just a tad. Fisher on the direct snap.
Good penetration.
Oh, but he broke the tackle. Fisher, touchdown, Ada. Oh! The man they call Slash. You took the direct snap and the Wildcat and just showed his intangibles. The defense got him, and he his strength got off broke the tackle and got to the end zone. Extra point by Caden Mitchell put the Cougars on top by a count of 27-0, 8:54 to play in the third quarter. The next Ardmore possession started at their own 28-yard line, and 2 plays into the drive, Fisher Marr, who just scored on offense, turned the tables on defense. Slot to the right. Miller looking for the tight end, throws it, intercepted. Fisher. The Cougars, Fisher at the 41. Well, they went to the well one too many. That little pop pass might have worked a time or two, but sometimes you can go to the well a few too many times.
It worked once.
Yeah. One of 3 Ada interceptions in the game. They had 4 last week. The secondary and the line, this defensive back's doing a tremendous job. That set up Ada at the Ardmore 38-yard line. 1st and 10 in Ardmore territory. It only took them 4 plays to go 38 yards. Xander Rhines ran for 10 to the 28-yard line. Karan ran for 5 to the 18 after a false start. Ada gave the ball to Karan Richardson from the 23-yard line, looking for his first high school touchdown.
The 200 mark.
Christian in motion. Richardson going to keep it. 20. LeKeven, 15, 10, 5. Oh, baby, touchdown! Misspoke. I meant LeKeven, excuse me. Karan had his in the first half. That was LeKeven's first high school touchdown as he picked his way, just showing great athleticism and speed. Offensive line all night long, trade. You saw even on that play. Ada was having 4 or 5 yards downfield many times before there was any contact. Offensive line just did a dominating performance up front. Mitchell's extra point, Ada led it 34-0. And then the final Ada touchdown came in the fourth quarter. Ardmore was driving the football, trying to break the Ada shutout when quarterback Loftus dropped back to pass. Deontay Lindsay's picked off 3 passes up to this point in 2 weeks and already caught a touchdown pass tonight. He electrified the crowd on this play. Taylor in motion. Loftus back to pass. Throws. Intercepted. 4. 25-30. 35-40.
Good job,
Here you go. To the house. Deontay. Hello, end zone. Deontay Lindsay. His 4th interception of the year. That one goes roughly 9. Xander Ryan's doing the swimming stroke into the end zone behind him as Deontay Lindsay, 90 yards, Trey Kinley. And once he caught that, he saw nothing but green in front of him going north and down the sidelines. 4 interceptions in 2 weeks, 2 touchdowns, 1 offensively, 1 defensively. That closed out the score, and that put 8 up 41-0, and that's the way the game would end. The Cougars a dominating performance. Your post-game show and your highlights, your instant replays brought to you by our good friends down at Ada Nissan. Back with more post-game show. Your final numbers with Trey Kinley next. Cougar football streaming at K80ARadio.net, a presentation of the Chickasaw Nation. Welcome back to Coy Easto Stadium. Kenny Morrison, Trey Kinley, Mason Lee on camera. Great job with Nathan Crowley tonight.
Crowell.
I called him Crowder.
You called him all sorts of things. You called my McCown trivia question people chumps.
Well, Nathan Crowell did a great job. Appreciate him engineering.
Yeah, he did.
Getting those replays to you tonight. Appreciate Nathan Crowell. 41-0 Ada. The stats really tell the story as well. Last week the stats didn't tell the story on the final. At Ada won 14-7, got outgained and didn't do much offensively tonight. 41-0. Stats will back that up.
Yeah, Ardmore had. I was looking at the second half. 8 first downs total, 44 carries for 96 yards. So that's just over 2 yards a carry. That 1 completion, 1 of 6 for 11 yards. No touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 6 penalties for 40 yards. So they did improve on that, Kenny, from last week. Ada, team-wise, 16 first downs, 35 rushes for 268 yards. That's going to be hard for me to do in my head. So we're going to say 7 yards carry. 3 for 7 passing for 37 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Did have 11 penalties for 85 yards, so there's something to clean up. And 4 fumbles. 3 of them lost. So we did lose the turnover battle this week. Kenny, that's, 5-4 last week, and it's 4-3 this week.
Mm-hmm.
So we're at 8. We forced 8, but we've given it up 8.
Yeah.
So definitely something that need to clean up, or 7. Individually, for Ardmore, Singleton had 15 for 47, Haskins 4 for 24, Cohee 2 for 10, Loftus 4 for 8, Kadrion Miller 7 for 4, Tyson Laster 8 for 3, Antonio Taylor 1 for 2, Peyton Smith 2 for -2. Passing, Kadrion Miller was 1 of 4 for 11 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Antonio Taylor came in second half, 0 of 2, no touchdowns, 1 interception. The single catch on the night was Jackson Hurt, 1 for 11 yards. And that was early in the game. Individually for Ada, Xander 8 for 80, 10 yards a pop. Karan 9 for 75, and that's over 8 yards a pop. Colton Carlock 5 for 44, that's over 8 yards a pop. Kevin had 3 for 27, 1 touchdown. Karan had a touchdown. Cody Carpenter came in late, had 3 for 15. Fisher Marr, 3 for 15 and 2 touchdowns. Brock Wills, 3 for 12. And then Jalen Wortham, 1 carry for no yards. Brock was 3 of 7 for 37 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Receiving, Deontay had 1 for 22 with a touchdown. LaKeven had 1 for 8, and Case Stafford had 1 for 7.
Really good balance along the rushers. They used several, and they were all efficient tonight. Yep. And this Ada offense talked about it this week. Simplify things a little bit. They knew they could run the football. They hoped they could. Thought they really could against Ardmore, and they executed and did just that. Got the big win, 41-0. So it looks like from our vantage point, as you said, got out of here without any real injuries down below. And now you've got a week to prepare for your toughest opponent of the year to date. McAllister Buffaloes will be in here next Friday night, 7:30 kickoff.
Yeah, they're going to be good. Obviously, lost McCarty, their big-time safety and running back that is up in Norman. And they lost a few other guys, I believe. Skill position-wise, they do have some big guys back, big tight end, linebacker is a senior this year. And they play hard for Coach Mazey every time I've seen them play. So it'll be an interesting game. Ada's still got to clean some stuff up. If they play like they did tonight, I don't know that they'll beat McAllister. I mean, honestly, you got to clean up the penalties, clean up the drops. I'm going to say 2 drops out of those 4 incompletions, 1 was for a touchdown. So you can't make mistakes like that against a really good team and still come out victorious. But it's a winnable game for Ada. I wouldn't be surprised if they won. So just got to keep getting better.
Didn't get a McAllister score tonight, but I know they opened week 0 with a pretty tight game. They beat 4A a district opponent, Broken Bow, last week in a pretty tight game. So that'll be the Cougar opponent again next week. And our airtime will be 7 o'clock. Kickoff at 7:30 here from Coy Easto Stadium, our second of 4 consecutive home game before the Cougars go back on the road on the first Friday in October.
Just trying to get their score. My Squirtle's loading, so.
Yeah, we'll wait just a minute then.
Last year they were in Louisiana the second week of the season down in Shreveport.
It seems like they were playing an out-of-state school tonight, now that I looked at their schedule.
I don't see them on the Squirtle. I'm just scanning it. I will say, Kenny, this was the second largest margin of victory, 19-something, 50-something maybe. But 1971, Ardmore won 44-0. So this is definitely the largest Ada victory and the second largest overall.
51-47-2 all time. The most important record, though, is 2-0 for the Cougars with their final non-district tune-up next week against McAllister. Join us here at K80aradio.net, streaming all your Ada games if you can't make it out to the stadium. All right, for Trey Kinley, did a great job. And also Mason Lee on camera, Nathan Kroll, great job as well. Appreciate our great crew here in the booth from Coy Easto Stadium. 41-0 Cougars win it. Next week it's McAllister on the air at 7. Until then, for all of our sponsors of Cougar football, I'm Kenny Morrison. God bless. Good night, everybody.